course, at tight end.
And back deep, there they are. Ron Springs, the first rookie to start since 1969 for Dallas, when Calvin Hill received that honor.
And great people at the skill positions. Dallas is super at those great spots.
This is the first play now, just across the 15-yard line. In motion goes Jay Saldi. Up the middle, Ron Springs trying to go outside, and the rookie from Ohio State has dropped. Good play that time by Steve Niels, the left side linebacker. And Ron Springs, boy, what a preseason he has had, as we look now at the defense for the Cardinals. Up front, Bob Pollard, Dawson, and Davis.
This is an attacking defense. This is the thing that St. Louis likes, with those hitters as linebackers. And the secondary is still a question mark.
Roger Worley is playing with knee trouble. He sustained a strained knee in the last preseason game, but he's in the starting lineup. Second down now, 8 yards to go. Roger Staubach, far side, complete to Drew Pearson. And Pearson is out of bounds across the 21 to the 22-yard line. Apparently a first down, and they went against the All-Pro, Roger Worley.
Rather interesting, too, that on the very first play that Landry had thrown a little wrinkle with two tight ends in the game. Saldi, who's sort of an outside receiver, but Dupre and he were both in the game on that first running play.
They say, Tom, that Dallas has 94 fronts. They make so many moves around.
94 fronts?
Some of them don't mean a lot. They just disguise the product.
As long as you have 94 backs, right?
First down on that 9-yard pickup. First down from the 27-yard line. Staubach to Springs. Springs, good cutback. And Springs is out to the 33-yard line. Tom Rafferty threw a big block from that right-hand side for Dallas.
This is the reason that Landry was not afraid to start number 20, wearing Mel Renfro's old number. He's a 203-pounder, a 4.5 40 fella that led the Big Ten as a junior. Then got nicked and had a little bit of an off senior year, and it was a good draft choice by Gil Brandt and the Dallas Cowboys, no doubt about it.
There's your stats, 2nd and 4. Springs was the most sought-after player when he came out of Williamsburg, Virginia, going to Coffeyville Junior College, and then on to Ohio State. From the 33, Roger Staubach with a good protection. He's going deep to Tony Hill. Tony Hill with the catch. Carl Allen was the man who could not get back quick enough on defense. And Tony Hill, who wants to be the premier wide receiver in the NFL.
Protection now. Springs goes to the left. Everybody sets up. Pretty good protection for Roger. A beautiful throw, by the way. Clean as hell. Now watch this catch by number 80. On the ball as it's thrown, he's about as good as there is. That's Allen in his way. Let's watch the rush now. The 30 rush without a linebacker blitz sometimes doesn't get pressure.
That was a 44-yard completion that time to Tony Hill, setting it up at the St. Louis 22-yard line. That's Dupree in motion. Staubach to Springs, and Springs this time in trouble. Steve Niels made sure of that. The left side linebacker, Charlie Davis, the nose tackle, they played that well.
Well, Charlie Davis is coming back off a knee surgery job of a year ago. Watch right in the center of your screen. Watch the big fella beat the center's block and get into the flow and simply strip it. And, of course, Niels finishes off the tackle. Good defensive play in the Dallas backfield.
They're going to lose 4 on that. 2nd and 14 from the 26-yard line.
Better get Billy Joe Dupre and throw a rope on him.
Boy, I tell you, this Dallas offense, they show you so many looks, so versatile, they can hurt you so many ways. Saldi in motion. There's a quick handoff to Bob Newhouse. Robert Newhouse to the 20-yard line. Hit by Ken Green, the strong safety, and the Eagles. They trailed early in that game, 3-0.
Yeah, Canfield has scored on a 1-yard run, and now Harold Carmichael has a 7-yard touchdown pass from Ron Jaworski. And that will be the 98th straight game for Carmichael to catch a pass in the National Football League. That's a lot of games.
This telecast is presented by authority of the National Football League. It is intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast or other use of this telecast without the express written consent of the St. Louis Cardinals and the National Football League is prohibited. 3rd down and 8. Staubach, big blitz. He's in trouble. Dropped. A great rush was put on that time by Lee Nelson. Incomplete pass. But what a pressure situation he was in on that play.
It's a cornerback blitz. Watch the left part of your screen. You'll see the defensive back coming. Roger just does get set up. Now let's see if it's going forward. Yeah, his arm was going forward, but that ball did a hang job. Lee Nelson was the blitzer.
Lee Nelson, who a couple of years ago was really picked on by Roger Staubach. He threw 18 passes at him when Nelson was starting for the first time.
Boy, he really laid his ears back and came.
There's the score. Tampa Bay getting off on good footing against Detroit. Seption will now attempt a 48-yard, make it a 38-yard field goal, and this kick is good. Seption, who last week defeated the Pittsburgh Steelers with 2 seconds remaining in the preseason. We're ready to go now after the Cowboys took the initial kickoff and marched for the field goal. This is Willard Harrell on the kickoff, and he brings it out to the 28-yard line. Dennis Thurman, a second-year man from USC, making the stop, and we have 2 men shaken up at the 20-yard line.
Let's watch Hollywood Henderson, number 56. He has sort of calmed down his act. He said he's not going to talk as much and just do the tackling, and I'll tell you, number 56 can play the tight end, too. Wait till you see him play defense. Is that Hollywood is down? He was in on that tackle, of course.
I think it's Aaron Mitchell, the rookie out of Nevada. 41 mark of this first quarter. The last play, we had 2 men shaken up. Aaron Mitchell and also Roy Green for the Cardinals. They're off the playing field at this moment. From the 28, Al Chandler will jump into that tight end spot as they start usually from the Y backfield. Jim Hart wants to throw on first down. Protection is beautiful. And the intended receiver, Mel Gray. Benny Barnes defending on the play.
Good play by Barnes. And, of course, Mel Gray, on the first play, even warming up, he was already yelling at Cliff Harris. He has great days against the Dallas Cowboys, even this great defense.
Boy, they've changed it, haven't they, on that left side?
That Stalls, though, has put on some weight at that left tackle. Cole can play solid anywhere. And, of course, White and Martin, they should be on Krypton.
And what a linebacking core that is, with Hollywood on the left-hand side.
But the secondary is going to be in trouble when they go to the nickel defense if Aaron can't play.
This is Otis Anderson, the #1 draft pick for the Cardinals, and he advances the ball to the 31-yard line. Larry Cole applying the clincher on him. Cole playing in place of Too Tall Jones. They say Cole just does a steady job.
A steady job, but this is a very fine offensive line. And we're talking about Larry Cole is having to play over Dan Deerdorf. This is from the eye now. They run with the tight end right in that up wishbone position. And that's Larry Cole that got away from Deerdorf, and that is not easy to do. That is a very fine offensive line the Cardinals have.
3rd down and 7. In motion comes Anderson. Flag on the play. Hard back protection there, intended for Tilley, and defending was Aaron Kyle. But a flag went into the air just about the time that play developed.
Tilley's got the good hands, the shorter, if not faster moves. He's the guy you'd go to on a 3rd down play.
That's offside against Dallas. And so the Cardinals will take that 5-yard penalty. Fred Wyatt, the referee in charge of this game. It was 80 degrees at kickoff time. Relative humidity at 60%. It is warm.
Offside, number 79, defense. 3rd down.
Harvey Martin stealing the line of scrimmage.
The 3rd and 2. I wouldn't want to tell Harvey Martin he did anything.
He's really a pretty nice guy. The 3 hours on either Sunday or Monday or Thursday night, that's the only time he's a bad person, right?
And that's the Sunday, isn't it? Day Sunday, I think it is.
That's when he plays.
3rd down and 2. This is Wayne Morris, and Morris breaks it out across the 40. He's got the first down to the 41. D.D. Lewis, one of the most underrated players on the team, according to Tom Landry, made the tackle.
Well, let's set the offensive line as we do this now. From left to right, you're watching it. It's Wortman, Big Bob Young, Brahaney in there, Steve, and Deerdorf. And I thought I heard a lot of yelling by the Dallas defense then when the man in motion went to the other side. It sounded like they might have had to switch their flex, move around a little bit.
With the 1st and 10 now from the 41. What they do by moving that tight end around is they make a linebacker line up against the tight end. They're trying to dictate who does, and they want Henderson doing that. Here is O.J. Anderson. Boy, look at the drive by him. Across the 45 to the 46-yard line, Bob Brunig making the tackle.
Watch Bob Young now. He's playing left guard. You will see him 64 at 282 pounds. So that's straight ahead against Randy White. Randy White bench presses about 420, and Bob Young bench presses about 660. They're incredibly strong.
Look at the Eagles now, Tom. They're pulling ahead.
Another Carmichael touchdown pass. This one for 41 yards from Jaworski.
2nd and 5. Hart using the rookie Anderson, showing he can run inside very effectively. There's a give to Anderson again, and he's got the first down. He just dragged tacklers with him. Randy White called Manster, coming up with a stop. This is what they said about Anderson. He's tough inside.
But interesting that they would be running him inside. Everybody thought they got him for outside speed because defenses cheated last year on the Cardinals. But I'll tell you, 216, you go to 4-3-5 or a 4-4, you can hurt people inside.
And we were going to have a score in that Minnesota-San Francisco game, and the 49ers, who had a tough preseason, but Minnesota did.
This one was Malone, a 1-yard run, 17-6, and they got a long way to go in that game.
Buffalo, Miami, I think that was a blocked field goal, wasn't it? 76-yard return. Buffalo with the lead in that one. First down, 10 from the 49 of Dallas. Hart on a give up the middle again.
Good tackle. Woo.
You can see how quick that forward wall is for Dallas. When Randy White plays up there, he just changes a lot of things.
Well, you know, Anderson, O.J. Anderson has a little bit of, as somebody said here, the Jimmy Brown move. He can sort of skate a little bit. He'll slide a lot like Metcalf used to do. Now he's coming out of the game. But I really like number 32. He'll go where he's not supposed to go, and the coach won't say a thing because he's going to score a lot of touchdowns.
What did he do? Lose the thigh pad? They have it taped on. Willard Harrell has replaced him now at the running back spot. 2nd down and 9 from the 48. This is Wayne Morris, and Morris, he stuffed up on that play, short of the 45. A flag, though.
Randy White really made a play. He went right through Bob Young and Brahaney and just right to the point of attack and cut the ball carrier right down.
Boy, they spotted some in that pile, though, because a flag was thrown on top, just about where Morris's forward progress was stopped. Situation being explained, however, to Brunig and Dallas. So it's going to evidently go against St. Louis.
Remember, Randy White gets stronger and meaner as the game progresses. In the 4th period, by the time you've gotten a little tired on offense, he is running over you.
Let's listen now.
Holding number 72, offense. 2nd down.
That's Dan Dierdorf.
Hey, you don't get many yellow flags on him. He doesn't have to hold people. Not often.
2nd down, 19, now from the 42-yard line. 3-0. The Cowboys with the lead. Seption with a 38-yard field goal on the initial series of this game.
And now the 3-man front and the nickel defense for Dallas. And, boy, you've got to be a real smart guy to set up against this and get it off. And Hart is that.
Hart with that quick release sends Morris in motion. Pressure by Martin from the near side, far side, and the catch is made by Wayne Morris, but he went out of bounds. He tried to make a move up the field. Going to be way short of the first down, but they pick up some of that as Mike Hagman, the linebacker, defending on the play.
You know what you love to have in a quarterback is an old head and a young arm. Watch this. This arm is so lively this year. He's in the best health I think I've ever seen Jim Hart. And nobody takes a two-step drop and doing a better job of getting the ball loaded and on its way than Hart. I think he's about as good as there is in that situation.
They still have 13 yards to go. It's 3rd down. Hart coming off his most productive year, over 3,000 yards in passing. In fact, both quarterbacks in this game went over 3,000 yards in 1978.
Oh,
and they're coming after him.
Hello.
And first to get there is Tom Henderson, the 40-yard line. They didn't disguise that very well, but they didn't have to.
And everybody covered, Gary, downfield. 2 receivers were trying to run 9 streaking. And Hart very, very sharply decided, let's take the loss here. Watch this group coming. This is when you clean the gun, get the dogs together, and try to get out alive.
Well, Hart got out alive, but they're going to lose the football. It's 4th down, 21 yards, and Steve Little, look at that, sacks last year. Looks like they're going to have another good year in that department. Little will do the punting for St. Louis.
He's the #1 draft choice. He better start doing a lot of punting.
He'll also kick off, but Mike Wood will do all the placement kicking, that being the field goals and the point after. And Little, this is Wade Manning, going to let it hit, and it's taking a St. Louis bounce. Manning gets away from it, and the Cardinals are coming out of that in excellent shape. That was not that well kicked. Fairfield did a good job of letting that ball get all it could out of the roll. And from the 5-yard line, the Cowboys with a 3-0 lead. Up the middle, Newhouse. Boy, it's tough there, isn't it? 7-yard line is where he'll be, a pickup of 2. Newhouse had an excellent year last year. Then he sustained the injury.
Yeah, but how about the way he came back? he fractured a leg, and he's got such tremendous calcium and tenacious bones and all. He was back in like 3 weeks trying to play. Landry had to try to take up his uniform, or Newhouse would have played right through the darn injury.
He almost had 600 yards rushing as it was. Boy, Philadelphia, they got a field goal again.
That's Franklin, Tony Franklin from Texas Aggies, a 46-yard field goal, and he was the number 3 draft. Looks like the Eagles made a good pick.
2nd down and 8 from the 7-yard line. Also, you can see San Francisco building their lead. Here's Staubach on the sprint out.
Oh, boy.
And Dupree, the big tight end. Beautiful execution. Carl Allen making the stop. But Staubach showing his mobility on that play. That'll drive cornerbacks crazy.
And the great thing is watch how Roger takes a lot of stuff off this throw. It's a very easy throw. It's a clean pass. He doesn't panic. He's been back on the end zone before the edge. Watch this. It's just a tight little spiral. His big tight end, who has, again, those tremendously large hands. He's played in 44 straight games at tight end, by the way. So Billy Jones, make that...
And there he is from last year. 34 catches in the Pro Bowl. That was a 19-yard completion. 1st down at the 26-yard line.
Yeah.
Staubach back to Newhouse again, and Newhouse to the 31-yard line. Newhouse running off the left-hand side behind Donovan and Herbert Scott. Kind of an unsung player in that forward wall, that guard spot. Ken Green, the strong safety, up to make the stop for St. Louis. The 2nd down and still 5 yards to go. Dupree comes in as Doug Cosby, their 3rd-round draft pick from Santa Clara, checks out.
A 4.740 for that Cosby, who is 6'6", about 245. Another Gil Brandt find. I don't know where he gets them. They come out of school, too. They don't come out of the mines.
And the computer. 2nd and 5 from the 31. They kept 3 tight ends this year, which they usually don't do. Here is Staubach. Newhouse end around reverse to Tony Hill, but it didn't fool anybody. But Hill's making some running room out of it anyway. Out to the 37-yard line. Boy, that was defense well by St. Louis. Jim Cooper throwing a block, but Hill did a good job just getting back to the line of scrimmage on that one.
A lot of people think Dallas shouldn't have done that in the Super Bowl game. They should have stayed with straight football and stopped throwing it around. But what this does against a real scrambling bunch of hitters like St. Louis is make them start staying home and play in their areas and stop chasing all over the field. Even if it looks semi-successful, it sets up a lot of other calls that Roger and the bench might have.
It was enough for a 1st down also. Not a big gainer, but a 1st down pickup from the 37-yard line. Staubach, protection's excellent. Off it comes to Springs to the 40-yard line. Ron Springs showing he can catch that football. As you know, Ohio State started throwing it a little bit last year. Tim Carney making the tackle.
Woody Hayes did a lot of things last year.
So from the 40-yard line, it'll bring up 2nd and 7.
I like that Springs up. And that's one thing about Ohio State football. If you have come out of there, you will accept punishment and also deal it out. You like to hit.
Another Ohio State football player not in uniform today, retiree Jim Otis.
Well, it's hard to believe he's not in a Cardinal uniform, though.
Jankowski now comes in defensively at left end. He's joined by Keith Simons and John Zook. The Cardinals trying to keep fresh people in that forward wall. Here's Springs. Look at that diving attempt by Carney. Springs is out of bounds at the 41, but Tim Carney went flying through the air.
Newhouse saved his life. Springs' life. He cuts off the linebacker and puts him up over. Watch Newhouse now cut back to his inside. He will see the linebacker coming sort of out of a different place. This is a weak side run. Now watch 44 spin back and take Carney. They went all over for the rookie from Ohio State.
3rd down and 6 now. As the Cardinals make some changes defensively, they get out of their Carney along with Steve Niels. They bring in another defensive back. That would be Lee Nelson.
It's the best 3rd down offense in football last year. The only team over 50%.
And guess who's come in for Dallas on a passing situation? Preston Pearson.
Why not?
From the shotgun. Staubach's got a lot of time again. And he finds his man, Tony Hill. And Hill has a 1st down catch at the 41 of St. Louis. Staubach is just looking outstanding here in this 1st game of the year.
Did you notice, though, that Tony Hill decided I better go back to get the ball? And how did he know he was still in bounds and not over the line? Now, you're right behind Roger Staubach. As we said, the best offense on 3rd down was the Dallas Cowboy offense. Watch this now. Again, no panic. Boy, Roger is really in extremely good shape and really sharp for the open. Look at this throw. And here comes Hill back, and he knows he's inside and free. It's good.
Tony Hill coming back on that, and New Orleans, boy, what a battle that's going to be with Atlanta. They lost both those games to the Falcons the last second last year. Here is Newhouse. And Newhouse, look at the leg drive on him to the 35-yard line. And that's going to bring up still 4 yards short of the first down. But Newhouse, he's like money in the bank when you have him back there.
Speaking of money in the bank, that was an Archie Manning touchdown pass to Ike Harris that got New Orleans on the scoreboard in a 7-0 lead. I think the Saints are going to be a team to worry about.
2nd down and 4 from the 35 of St. Louis. We have 3:09 remaining in this first quarter, and Dallas has sustained 2 pretty long drives already.
Ball possession, huh?
It counts a lot, doesn't it? This is Springs on the cutback inside the 30. He's got the first down, and he showed some veteran-type running on that play.
Maybe that's the reason that Tony Dorsett worked so hard all week and wanted to play today. Maybe he sees in Springs a very fine ball carrier.
You believe he was a 5th-round pick. Dallas always seems to come up with those free agents, those late-round draft choices that everybody else wondered where they came from.
But they go back and get records on them from the hospital out till they've grown up. What were they like in the crib, you know?
There's Tom Landry, 13 consecutive winning years. Look at that, first in ball control. That is a big statistic in this National Football League.
32 minutes a game, they have it on offense.
Here's Staubach on the play action. Niels, he gets away from him. He comes back and gets him. Steve Niels, that's tenacity, isn't it? He stayed with him all the way. Mike Dawson also put some pass rush on as Staubach is dropped.
Niels is a 215-pounder out of Minnesota. And watch the effort, because if you don't have effort on this one, boy, I bet Tommy Bettis, the defensive coordinator, is happy, because Niels misses him once. And usually don't get 2 shots at Roger. He's such a cagey devil, right? Now the midshipman this time goes down with all guns blazing. Dawson was in there to help, too.
Going to bring up 2nd and 15 from just inside the 35-yard line.
Darn, it's a good football game for the first one of the season, though. Very crisp, huh?
Boy, when these two get together, Tom, it's amazing. A bitter rivalry. Last year, the Cowboys won first, both of them, the first time since '73 they had done that. Here's Staubach, far side, intended receiver Pearson, Worley defending. Did he have it? No.
Boy, there's 2 All-Pros. You want to see a ballet? Watch this one. And also watch the pass blocking by Dallas. It was excellent. No penetration, but great coverage by Roger Worley with a short out, the toughest thing you can do, and he just gets it out of Drew Pearson's hands. Boy, that's a standoff. Watch this blocking. Go out and get them, fellas, right up there. There's an A+.
Hey, Roger is coming out throwing. He's already thrown 7 passes, hit 5 of them, as we come to 3rd and 15, and they go to the shotgun. Here comes the pressure. He's able to get away from it. The chase is on by Arneson. Wide open is Cosby. He couldn't get back to the football.
Looked like something from the Super Bowl. I felt like it was deja vu. The way number 84 bounced around in the end zone, huh? The ball badly underthrown by Roger Staubach after a great scramble.
Boy, you wonder how a guy like Cosby gets so wide open. But again, that's what can happen when you have a guy as mobile as Staubach. He just makes things happen like that.
It looks like out of that 34 defense, they get a blitz situation, and somebody just released the off tight end completely. Look at that frustration.
You think they might show that film? Somebody's going to find out who blew that assignment.
But the scorecard don't have pictures, baby. He didn't catch it, did he?
That's right. And so, Danny White has come in to punt. It's 4th and 15. White will be punting with a cast on his right thumb, which has hindered him. He cannot play quarterback, but I wonder if he could still throw out of the rookie out of Oklahoma. White from his own 45-yard line.
He'll be trying to get it out inside the 20 with a nail, as they say.
White, by the way, is averaging over 44 yards a kick in the preseason despite that injury. He's going to go for the corner. Beautiful kick.
He might have it.
Down there is Benny Barnes, but it's going to make it in for the touchback. Benny Barnes back there with Terry Smith trying to get into position. But that's going to bring it out to the 20-yard.
I bet Pat and the captain are glad that it's a good day back there, right?
From the 20-yard line. First down after a 39-yard kick by Danny White. 1:22 to go. First quarter, the Cowboys with a 3-0 lead. Hard again on first down. Over the middle, complete. Big tight end that time. Chandler with the catch, and at the 25-yard line, a pickup of 5, 2nd and 5.
Boy, I'd like to say it right now. J.V. Kane was a superior talent and happened to come from my old school at Colorado. And if J.V. Kane was on the field right now for St. Louis, they would have about the best tight end possible in uniform. And, of course, he did pass away in training camp, and the team was all there, and they came out of it in pretty good shape, and they put it back together. But J.V. Kane was a great talent and a very fine young person.
This is O.J. Anderson fighting his way to the 29. That's the reason, of course, for the black armbands that the Cardinals are wearing due to the untimely death of J.V. Kane. But we've been told, and if you watch films, that Chandler may be the best blocking tight end they've had in years.
He just doesn't have the speed, that overall versatility that J.V. had, the going deep possibility.
3rd down, a yard to go. Theodis Brown now comes into the lineup for the first time. He's their 2nd-round draft pick out of UCLA, and they are very, very high on him.
225 pounds. He also has about a 4.55 speed.
So they have a full house backfield on a 3rd and 1. This is Anderson. Oh, what a hit. He's got the first down. But did you see the quick feet as he came across the line of scrimmage and ran into Randy Hughes?
All right, Hughes made a good tackle, but on a short yardage situation, he almost broke out and went about 80 yards with it. Watch how close Anderson comes to breaking this right out and get through that one thin line and perhaps go down the field.
And so that's the end of the first. From Gary Bender as we start the 2nd quarter. 3-0. Dallas with the lead on a 38-yard field goal. A moment ago, O.J. Anderson in a bulldozing effort picked up a first down, and here he has the football again. He's out to the 34-yard line.
Boy, Wilkinson has an interesting game plan that he's running inside on the best rushing defensive team in the world last year. And what he's telling them is, hey, fella, we're not the same Cardinals that you played last year where we were getting 110 yards rushing. Big difference, because now Mel Gray, when he is called, is going to be flat out running free.
It's 2nd down and 7 yards to go. I think it shows again when Bud said we're going to make it to the playoffs. He feels they have the people on the field, the talent to do it this year. He's not fancy right now, as you mentioned. Hart on the 2nd down, a delay to Wayne Morris. Morris out to the 40, and Morris apparently has the first down. Randy White caught him, but Morris made a play that looked like it wasn't going to go anywhere. It was all stuffed up in the middle.
Watch Terry Steve, the right guard. Watch number 68 make a good play in the right part of your screen. Watch this. He sets back up like it's a pass, and he'll turn the Dallas. There he takes. Deerdorf has turned cold to the outside, and Steve turns back to the inside. I'll never forget Morris today. He had over 180 against Minnesota on an afternoon doubleheader game that was outstanding.
He was the only Cardinal last year to go over 100 yards. That was against Washington. A 9-yard pickup on the play. First down from the 44. Hart wanting to throw on first down throughout the course of this game. Protection is there. Interception. Picked off by Aaron Kyle. Intended receiver was Mel Gray, but Aaron Kyle had played that perfectly.
And Jimmy Hart was not rushed either. This is an unusual Hart. Look at him. He's like a golfer that just snap hooked on 18 and knocked it out of bounds, but he liked to have this one back. Good pass protection. Loads it up and underthrows, and Kyle just sits there and takes it in.
Interception by Aaron Kyle. The Cowboys have a 3-0 lead. They scored at the 11:50 mark of the first quarter.
Think Roger will air it out pretty quick?
Neither one of these teams has been reluctant to throw the football. This is Newhouse. Newhouse gets outside across the 45, and he's close to the 50-yard line and about a yard short of the first down. Drew Pearson threw a good block on that play. Washington, well, Houston coming back a little bit.
It's a great call on that play, too. That's the safest pass I can think of to air it out, is to give it to number 44. I like it.
Well, you were always a defensive back, not an offensive quarterback.
Did you see how low Allen had to get to tackle number 44? Then he had to go under the chalk mark. That's the left part of it. Let's see if you can. Ooh, there it is. Drew Pearson cracking back. Remember, he had to hit above the waist, or that would have been a foul. And most of the rules have been put in to keep the injuries down, and I'm all for that, too.
On a 2nd and 2, Newhouse has the first down. He's to the 45-yard line. Nothing fancy, but just hard to bring down. Eric Williams making the tackle.
Well, what do you tackle? What are you grabbing by the radiator? You know, it's like a low-built slug coming through there.
Well, he's 5'10". He weighs 215. And look at the stats on this guy. As we mentioned, he was hurt last year. He broke a bone in the right leg, and he was out the next 3 games and still almost had 600 yards. Newhouse has 33 yards on 6 carries, and this partisan Cardinal crowd right now, they're waiting for some fireworks for their home team. Here's Staubach. And that is Tony Hill dropping the pass, and you won't see that very often. He's having a conversation with the Cardinal bench about it.
That's because he didn't want to go back to the Dallas coaches and talk about it.
Hill last year with 46 catches. He made the Pro Bowl after a rookie year, really just playing as a punt returner and a special teams performer.
Great talent, though.
Preston Pearson now comes in. Ron Springs checks out. Look at that, 823 yards. The other side, Pearson had 44 catches. That's pretty good balance, isn't it?
Boy.
2nd and 10 from the 45. Staubach again, a busy man in the passing department. Got it to Newhouse. Some running room. Newhouse staying on his feet, and he is to the 36-yard line. It's going to be a yard short of the first down.
It was a good screen, and I think that number 44 could have stayed inside and maybe gotten 30 or 35 more yards out of it. And again, it's real easy up here. Down there, it's one big blur, but an excellent call. Not the best receiver, but pretty safe.
When you got guys like the 2 Pearsons and Hill, you don't have to throw to Newhouse very often.
That's true.
9-yard pickup, and it's a yard short. 3rd down coming up from the 36 of St. Louis.
Big play here.
Dupree has come into the lineup along with Saldi as they have both tight ends in. This is Newhouse. Look at the hole. He may break this one. It's 1-on-1, and he's all the way to the 15, and Carl Allen's got him at the 13-yard line. Carl Allen had to bulldog him to get him down.
Again, I said it earlier when Anderson almost broke against the Dallas defense, and the short yardage defense. Watch the block by Scott, number 68, to the right of your screen. Watch this. He takes the big fella and just buries him, turns the defensive end out, and one missed tackle, and you do have a problem. Old Stubby's going to get you. And he almost carried the defensive back, Allen, into the end zone. Here's another angle of that. A short yardage defense will stop people after a yard, but if you get through that, you can ramble.
He already has 54 yards on 7 carries. On a first down, Springs. Good tackle that time by Charlie Davis. Davis, who was sidelined the first game of last year on a knee injury against Chicago. He's back in there. They moved Mike Dawson, who was the starter a year ago at that spot, to an outside defensive end spot. So it's going to bring up 2nd down and still 9 to go. A gain of 1. Roger Staubach in this game has come out and opened it up. He has the Cardinal defense, I think, sitting on their heels a little bit.
And yet everything's a pretty safe play. I know we say he opens it up, but nothing looks like it's made up in the huddle.
On a 2nd and 9 from the 13, this is Larry Brinson, who's coming at fullback, and Brinson is inside the 5-yard line. Larry Brinson giving Newhouse a break on that play, a breather. Has moved it to a 1st and goal, it appears.
Rafferty and company really pulled and got in that hole in good shape.
Brinson's a 3rd-year man from Florida. He was cut in '78, and then they brought him back. They had so much talent, and now they want him playing a lot of football for him. They're very confident when they have him in there.
When you ask people about the great offensive lines, the defensive players say, who's running behind it? There's one right there, Dorsett, that's watching, number 33.
You want to get back quicker the way Springs and company have been looking.
Competition never hurts a great athlete.
It is a 1st and goal. They got enough for the 1st and goal. They're at the 4-yard line. They bring in 3 tight ends on this play now. Dupree, Saldi, and Doug Cosby. All 3 of them have checked in. Three to nothing, the Cowboys to the lead, but trying to add to that. This is Saldi in motion. Little mix-up, I believe. Brinson has the football, but that play just didn't look right, did it, Tom?
I believe there's a fumble, and I believe Yankowski may have come up with the football. At least he thinks he did.
That was Brinson that had the football. Let's see what happened on it.
You're right on the line of scrimmage. Folks, you be the judge. Boy, good penetration by St. Louis. I believe that was Pollard. See if the ball comes up and it's a live one. Worley looks like he's being pinned from behind. Nope.
No fumble, but tough sledding. 2nd and goal from the 4. No gain on that last play. That's Saldi again. This is a give to Newhouse. Newhouse is in for the touchdown. Robert Newhouse bouncing off of a Cardinal, taking it in. And Dallas now with a 9-0 lead.
Same place, different play. Oh, they pulled a guard left like they were going outside and ran inside on a Lawless. Or Pat Donovan, the tackle, pulled outside and they ran back inside. A pretty cute play for a goal line rush. Watch the linemen pull like they're going outside. And then they get a good trap block there by number 66. That's Lawless. It's pretty good execution.
And Septian, who hit a 38-yard field goal earlier to attempt the point after. Carano will hold, but a mix-up. Carano is the third holder that Septian has had this year. They started out with Waters, then they had Robert Steele, and now they're to Carano, and that can mess up a kicker sometimes.
I think it would really mess up, you know, a great driver in golf if somebody else teed the ball up for him, and that's what we're really talking about.
And so Carano has inherited that role. Robert Steele was picked up by Minnesota as Bud Wilkinson's team down now 9-0. Septian with the point after attempt. He missed one last week against Pittsburgh, but he got this one. Well, after the Aaron Kyle interception, the Cowboys marched 59 yards, and they now have a 10-0 lead. As back deep, we have Willard Harrell. He's joined there by Thomas Lott as Septian ready to kick off. Let's check that. Roy Green has dropped back there. He was shaken up earlier in this game, but he's now returned. He's back there with Harrell.
You know, Septian's been getting pretty good distance on these kicks. He reached the end zone with numero uno. Uh-oh.
And there's kind of a squib type. That's tough to handle, isn't it?
I'd say.
And Harrell's going to bring it out. Harrell out to the 10. He's in trouble. But he did get it across the 15-yard line as Green looked like a shortstop trying to field the ball. Well, the Rogers Coliseum.
Guys in dresses on urethane wheels? What was that?
Now, wait a minute. From the 18. Anderson and Morris, the running backs, hard again on first down, trying to hit Pat Tilley. He's out of bounds. The Cardinals have been throwing on first down almost every time, Tom, but they're just not getting that offense rolling.
Look at Cliff Harris. He wanted to make sure everybody was friendly in that Cardinal bench as he goes back. Boy, he really likes young Aaron Mitchell, though, Gary.
He's his kind of player, isn't he?
Well, he can sick Aaron Mitchell in the things that he would like to have done, like hitting people and let the other rookie do it.
Bill Walsh, his first game, and they're leading Minnesota 9-0. He said they'd open up, and Washington's picked up some points against Houston. And New Orleans, well, Atlanta's now on the board. Tim Mazzetti kicking a field goal. Second down, 10 from the 18. This is Morris. And Morris, well, he's just snowed under on that play.
Randy White came all the way from the offside. Jimmy Hart right now is 2 of 4 passes for 11 yards, 1 interception, 2 for 5 now, 2 for 5 passes. And they just haven't gotten the offense going. They've moved the ball a little bit on the ground, but you can't live by the ground alone, somebody once said.
Third down and 7. Well, Larry Wilson told us yesterday, the former great All-Pro safety, that he felt the defense was in midseason form, but he was concerned that the offense wasn't quite ready yet.
They better get Mel Gray working on this Aaron Mitchell, the rookie over here, and get some action.
From the 21 on a 3rd and 7, 7:47 to go till halftime. The NFL Today returning at halftime. And here is Wayne Morris. O.J. Anderson, I'm sorry. And Anderson out to the 50. He breaks it out to the 45-yard line. What a run by the rookie. We have a flag thrown. He may have had a penalty for throwing the ball.
Who cares? He went off Bob Young's side, off that left side of the line. Let's take a look and see what happens. Steve goes across the trap block. Young seals off the right side. Watch this move here. Again, we said it's 4.35 40. 216-pounder. Hughes finally makes the tackle. Man, I'm telling you, this rookie can play a little bit.
We have delay of game, spiking the ball, offense. First down.
Don't ask me what I think about the call, okay? Whether it was on Dallas or St. Louis, I think a little emotion is part of the game, but this is a great-looking young running back. O.J. Anderson from Miami, the first 1,000-yard rusher the school ever had, and Chuck Foreman went to school there.
So the first down will be at the 49. They lose 5 yards on the delay of game, but shows the emotion of O.J. Anderson. Hard on first down. He's throwing to Gray, but the fence Very well that time by Benny Barnes. He had to get rid of that football, Tom. Pressure was really coming after Jim Hart.
From the safety, it was Hughes that put on the pressure. Ball was thrown pretty well. I didn't think Mel Gray was running full speed. He looks like he's worried about that thigh or something a little bit. Look for number 42. He gets clipped by Steve just as he was trying to get on number 17.
2nd and 10. Boy, Terry Steve may have saved Jim Hart a real shot on that play.
Might have saved his life.
2nd and 10. Mel Gray, you mentioned he wasn't running that well. He's had some hamstring trouble and didn't play the last 2 preseason games.
He used to eat the Cowboys up. That's
9 touchdown passes against him. Not too bad, huh? Here's a give now to Wayne Morris, and Morris inside the Dallas end of the field. Larry Cole coming over to make the stop.
interesting to know what a young rookie running back can do to the whole team and the whole stadium. That run, even though there was a penalty on the end of it, I didn't think it delayed the game too much. I thought it was rather an interesting time to get in a great replay of a young player. But
3rd down and 7.
He's turned on that offensive line, and now they're saying, hey, Deerdorf is saying, let's go. Let's keep it on the ground. We can block these guys.
Well, you saw that run on film of the 80-yard gallop that he went for a touchdown. It was called back in the preseason, and that ignited the team that night.
That's right.
3rd down and 7. Hart setting up. Protection is there. Gray, he gets loose, and Gray is hit by his own man at the 31-yard line, but Mel Gray, showing the great moves that he has, really was able to shake the defender on that play.
I think Wayne Morris comes down trying to help him and hits him in the back. Mel used to run about a 9.200 when at the University of Missouri. I would imagine he's more like a 9.5 or 6 now. But he always had that great long stride and could drive the defensive backs crazy. In this case, he fell down, Benny Barnes. But watch Morris now. Trying to help out his buddy, he actually stuffs him.
Look at that. That catch extends his streak to 77. And now the Cardinals starting to come to life. 1st down from the 30-yard line of Dallas. This is Morris trying to go outside. Cliff Harris is over there, but Morris picks up 5 yards. Boy, did Harris get over there in a hurry.
And did he make a smart move? He started grabbing by the helmet, started grabbing by the nose guard, but Harris slipped around and gets the top of the shoulder pads instead. Watch this now. Here's Morris making a good move, bouncing outside. Now watch Harris start to say, I'm going to take his head off. Then, maybe I better get on the shoulder pad. Clever.
2nd down, 5 from the 25. 5:48 left till halftime. The Cowboys with a 10-0 lead, but the Cardinals with their most impressive drive. We start out in that I formation, stay in it. Look out. Hart in trouble, and he got rid of it. Well, I don't know. Was he in control or...
Great play by Hart. Henderson blitzed and had him around the ankles, but the quarterback was not down. You know, he surely has the right to set up and finish the throwing motion if he isn't knocked silly. Now watch this. Sets up. Tight end blocks for him. Chandler here. He gets rid of one person for a moment, and then Henderson has him by the feet.
Well, that's a rule that's, I'm sure, going to be debated all year. In control and grasping him, and that's the 2 criteria they use for whether or not the play should be stopped.
Yes.
3rd and 5 from the 25, but Hart showing some resourcefulness on that play. Hart with a protection, throwing complete to Al Chandler, and Chandler's got the 1st down. The big tight end moves it to the 17-yard line, and Randy Hughes, the strong safety, playing in place of the injured Charlie Waters, there to make the tackle.
Boy, watch the St. Louis offensive line, Gary. They really go to work this time. Hart needs it. 3rd and 6 against the best 3rd down defense in the country. Watch this. Chandler moves to the right, the tight end. Morris moved up to pick up a blitzer and stay right in the middle. You watch this battle on the line of scrimmage. I'll tell you, they go out and get it. This is the tight end now, and they isolate for the 1st down. Hughes in pretty good shape, but he's just beaten a little bit.
Chandler was 16 catches a year ago for St. Louis. So 1st down at the 17-yard line. Gray and Tilley at the top of the screen are split out. Fake to Anderson. Hart throwing to Gray. Almost picked off by Tom Henderson.
You know where he ends up, don't you? In Amarillo.
And it wouldn't have taken him long to get there.
No, about 9.5. What a great athlete. Make no mistake. A lot of people say, he talks too much and all. He can deliver. He's a great player. Now, Hart really thinks he can get it past him. And he decides to zip it instead of lob it. And Henderson gets somehow over there and almost picks it off.
Hart now 4 of 10 for 37 yards, 1 interception, and a close second one. You can see it, 2nd and 10 from the 17-yard line. Linebacking core for Dallas, they only have about 6 good ones who can run.
Boy.
There's Chandler jumping into the tight end spot. Gray at the bottom of the screen. Tilley to the top. This is Anderson. Anderson to the 10 and looked like maybe more as all of a sudden that hole opened up and Larry Cole derailed him. But is this Anderson putting on a show?
And what's the SMU back Morris taking through? Watch the fullback number 24 lead this rookie through there. White can't hold him. Larry Cole makes a great diving tackle, and that might be a touch. Because I think Harris was down. He'd been blocked.
62 yards for O.J. Anderson on 9 carries. 3rd down, 3 from the 10-yard line. A give to Morris. Morris going for the 1st down, and he got it.
All right, guess who got the key block? Watch Anderson's block. A rookie now with great composure has made the shift from the wishbone to the regular tee. Now watch, look at this, number 32 in there. Blocking, I believe he was blocking on the linebacker there, on D.D. Lewis, and opened the hole up.
They're going to measure to see if he got it. We initially thought that his forward progress was enough, but we're going to have to wait and see. He'd have a 1st and goal if he did make it just outside the 7-yard line. He did get it.
What a gutsy drive this has been for the Cardinals, though.
Well, the Cardinals down 10-0, and the thing that turned it around, as you mentioned, Tom, was that burst by O.J. Anderson, and the whole team started to come to life.
Those offensive linemen just go crazy for that. Their wives aren't yelling at them when the games are over, you know? They're giving them steak dinners and being nice to them.
Well, you know, Wayne Morris said this of O.J. Anderson. He's a 215-pound Terry Metcalf, and here he goes again. And he's going to get to the 5-yard line, and that's all. A gain of 2. Interior of that Dallas defense. Dallas wearing their new blue jerseys. This is the first time they've worn them with the numbers on the shoulders.
Now, here's what happens if a back uses second effort and gets caught where he can't get down on the ground. That's not good either. If it ain't there, forget it. Hello.
Just can't. So they have a 2nd and goal at the 5-yard line. Tilley, Gray, wide receivers. There's Chandler jumping around with Morris and Anderson behind Jim Hart. 3:50 to go, 1st half. There's Anderson trying to go outside. He is going to be dropped at the 2-yard line. He fumbled the ball, but I believe it's blown dead. It will be ruled dead at that point, but it looked like, Tom, for an instant, he might make it in.
What I liked was the ad-lib move where he sort of shifts gears. Here's a quick draw. Watch this move right here. A little stutter, and now he changes, and he's running all over the place on those shoes, and I'm telling you, he's a hard guy to pin up because you don't know where he's going to go, and he doesn't either.
He lost his shoe on that play. He lost his shoe. That may have been the difference.
I think Bud Wilkerson will personally buy him all the shoes he wants.
So now it's 3rd and goal at the 2. They have to get Anderson out of the lineup. They have Harrell, Theodis Brown, and Wayne Morris as the 3 running backs behind Hart. We approach 3 minutes now in this 1st half remaining to be played. Play action, Hart. Touchdown. Catch is made by Al Chandler. What a play that was by Hart.
And especially for Chandler, the tight end, that's in the position that's been their problem.
4 touchdown catches and only 16 grabs, so he's been a big money receiver for him. Flag on the play is Mike Wood. Attempts to point after. Let's see what the penalty's all about. Wood evidently indicating it's against Dallas, so the point will stand. And St. Louis now is on the scoreboard, and they're right back in this one. An 82-yard drive that time.
Offsides, number 25, defense. Good.
And so Woods, point after, makes it a 10. 82 yards, and O.J. Anderson, that's the name to remember, as we have Wade Manning and Ron Spriggs back deep for this kick from Steve Little. And Manning having trouble with it. He's not going to bring that one out.
Big kick, huh? Large kickoff, 5 yards deep in the end zone.
That's one thing they needed. A year ago, they weren't doing that. Washington still hanging on to that lead over Houston. 27-13, and now Miami is on the scoreboard against Buffalo after that early long return on a blocked field goal. New Orleans still leading Atlanta 21-10. I'll tell you, you get behind the Saints and you can be in some real trouble.
All right, there's a 3-0 job. This is Thomas on a 25-yard run. That should be more than 3-0 then. 25-yard runs is supposed to be 7 points.
10-7 our score with 2:48 remaining till halftime. We'll go to Brent, Irv, and Jane at halftime. Here is Staubach to Robert Newhouse. And I think right now it's quite apparent, Tom, that that old word momentum may have shifted a little bit in this game.
Hey, that was almost a lateral from Staubach, and Newhouse walked away from the ball, and the linebackers went after it like it was a live pumpkin. If a lateral, you got to be careful because the defense can at least get possession. They can't advance it like a fumble, but they can fall on it.
37-year-old Staubach, there's his stats, 6 of 11 for 102 yards. All he had last year was 25 touchdown passes.
61% or whatever it was.
Top-rated passer in the NFL. And a superhuman being. 2nd down 10 now. Preston Pearson has come into the backfield along with Robert Newhouse. And from the 20-yard line, Dallas. This is a give to Pearson, and Pearson is hit by Tim Carney. Good reaction that time by St. Louis. No gain on the play, and it'll come to a 3rd down.
And here's a very tricky runner. We all know that Preston Pearson on the draw, he was the starter before Dorsett got his chance in game number 10 of that rookie year. But right now, I think young Anderson has picked up the entire Cardinal team. Those hitters in the linebacking core begin to bang people.
Tim Carney, the leading tackler a year ago, his biggest problem has been overrunning plays. But when they went to the 3-4, that helped him. And now they're going to wind it down to the 2-minute warning as we have a 3rd and 10 from the 20-yard line. So the 2-minute warning, SOS at speed of sound. How fast do they go in that?
Well, the speed of sound, I am told, varies between, between 740 and 8 something according to the atmosphere and the altitude and all those things.
And our producer, Bob Stenner, who will be producing that, tells you what else? Temperature?
Yeah, temperature, but can he go fast? That's all I want to know. Will they go fast?
We'll know. That'll be an interesting show.
SOS, sound of speed barrier.
3rd and 10, 2-minute warning has just been executed. 10-7, the Cowboys are the lead. Here's Staubach back, pressure put on by Dawson, and Roger Worley defending on a play, a catch by Preston Pearson. That's going to be just short of the 1st down.
Where did he come from? The dressing room? Preston Pearson goes in the game on 3rd down. As the most wanted man, he almost made the 1st down. If he doesn't fall down, I believe Preston makes the 1st down. Let's see where he comes from. Look for number 26. Must be to the right of the screen. He's slipping through. Here's the blocking Rafferty taking the Yankowski around. Here's the ball. He has to make a diving catch. The ball was not thrown very well, but he did make the catch, didn't he? A little short.
Danny White will go back and kick. Dallas has 2 timeouts left. St. Louis has all 3 of theirs remaining. Roy Green is going back deep. And Thomas Lott. White with the kick.
Oh.
Beautiful kick. Fair catch is called for. This is going to be Willard Harrell. No, he's not going to call for the fair catch. He's going to run it. And at the 30-yard line, I thought he was going to.
I thought he did.
Well, I'm not sure. And at the 30-yard line, the Cardinals will kind of Henderson get down on that.
Boy, he had him zeroed in, didn't he? Hart is 5. Here's Henderson now. Look at this. That Henderson is around that ball, isn't he?
I wonder if he thought Harrell had called for the fair catch.
He didn't care, I guess.
From the 30-yard line, the Cardinals with the ball. They trail 10-7. Hart giving up. And here he comes again. O.J. Anderson all the way out to the 39-yard line, and he has turned this game around momentarily with his outstanding running. As you see the time, 55 seconds remaining. He was picked up on waivers.
You better get up and start working out or something to get excited.
2nd and 1 from the 39. They're a long ways yet from his range. Hart with the protection, dumps it off to Wayne Morris. Morris having trouble with Bob Brunig. That pass hung up Morris a little bit.
Well,
they didn't get out of bounds with that one. The clock's still running. Now they stopped it. Timeout is going to be. He's got great poise. Look at those 3rd down conversions, would you? 7 for 8. In the game now is Gary Parrish, number 89. This is O.J. Anderson again, and Anderson trying to get the 1st down. He did not. And so it's going to come to a 4th down with 38 seconds. Looks like we have Al Chandler, who was shaken up on that play. And so they're going to have to get rid of the football. 1 timeout left for the Cardinals, 2 for Dallas.
I'm not a person that says don't twist that dial, but what I can remember about St. Louis-Dallas games, particularly in St. Louis, the last half is usually like the bazaar of all nations. It is the wildest scoring fiasco of all time, so I would imagine next half will be rather interesting.
Well, they went into overtime here last year at the 25-yard line. 38 seconds left before halftime.
Ooh, here they come. Good kick.
Wade Manning from the 20. He's going to try to get outside. He's got a good block, but Joe Bostic, 71, is over there along with Kurt Allerman. And Manning could not get the corner turned on the far side. A 40-yard kick by Little, who earlier in this game had one that rolled for a distance of 55 yards.
St. Louis fans thought that Little had been fouled by Cosby. The big tight end came through on the pressure, but I think Little, the Razorback, just fell down and made it look decent.
Steve Little said that he'd like to take over all the kicking chores, and Bud Wilkinson, I'm sure, will watch closely. He wanted to have only 1 kicker as he entered the 79 season, but was forced to keep 2.
Gives you a roster place to keep an extra linebacker or running back or quarterback, which are important parts of the engine.
We should mention the Cardinals have only 2 quarterbacks. Dallas with 2 timeouts remaining. Preston Pearson, Ron Springs, the running backs from the shotgun. Staubach to Drew Pearson. That'll be a 1st down. Drew Pearson now has become the number 2. The big red line, the cheerleaders here.
Bob Hayes.
Bob Hayes.
Bob Hayes. Drew Pearson's down 2nd place. Hayes was 1st. Only because he ran the 103.5 or whatever it was. What a great receiver Robert was.
He's wearing the number that Wade Manning's wearing now. From the 47-yard line. Staubach from the shotgun. Charlie Davis comes after him. Far side, Tony Hill, Lee Nelson, and pass interference. Lee Nelson at the 40 now with 15 seconds. That's giving Dallas a real crack now, setting up a field goal.
Boy, Tony Hill played it perfectly, too. He looked back over his shoulder like, oh, come on, the guy's hanging on me, and he was just a little bit. Watch the big rush. Roger gets the arm hit, too, and I wonder how his arm feels. Just hanging on him a little bit, and if Hill had really raised heck, the official might have walked away from him.
Well, that gives him the automatic 1st down. It was Nelson who Staubach picked on a couple of years ago, threw 18 passes at his position.
I think that's Charlie Davis coming from the nose on a twist. Roger got hit pretty hard on that, didn't he?
Roger in the preseason suffered a concussion against Denver, but he's come back from that all right. So from the 42-yard line now, Dallas thinking a field goal with 15 seconds. They have 1 timeout remaining. Staubach far side, Hill again. Nelson over there, same play, but not the same result. Staubach now 8 of 14 for 133 yards. You see the time remaining.
Got a lot of plays off in like 20 seconds, haven't the Cowboys, huh?
There he is.
Do you know he's the best racquetball player in professional sports? He took everybody on out in Vegas at that tournament and beat baseball, basketball.
Well, he was 3 of 6 in the preseason, and of course last week a big kick for him. He'd had a shaky preseason, to be honest with you, and then he beat Pittsburgh with 2 seconds left, and it really gave this team a shot in the arm.
They got a lot of pressure on them, though. Kickers are no longer just strange people, you know, on the team.
How about Jim Bakken? He wasn't a bad racquetball player. Here's Staubach over the middle to Billy Joe Dupree. Dupree close to the 1st down, and now with 5. Well, this is going to be a 50-yard attempt.
It's a big kick.
This would be the longest of his career. His longest is a 48-yarder.
Carano holding?
Yes, sir. 5 seconds. Septien's kick.
Got a chance.
It's going to go wide left. You had to wait, though. He had enough distance on it. And that is the remaining time of our 1st half, as it is all over in this 1st half. And what an entertainment for this kickoff from Septien.
What is this town love it? This town love it. 51,000 plus.
Complete sellout. And they've already sold out a game later this year. That's when Pittsburgh comes here in 2 weeks. Here's Septien kicking off. Willard Harrell over there zeroing in on it. He's out to the 20. Harrell is going to make it to the 24-yard line.
Boy, do they cover. Those Cowboys cover on kicks and punts. Redskins, Cowboys, and a couple of others are the best at that. Maybe Pittsburgh should be in that group, too.
The guy that did cover on that play was Doug Cosby, that third-round draft pick we've heard so much about out of Santa Clara.
We'll have to get a collar and a leash for him. He's been hitting people all day.
Not many players have come out of Santa Clara. Look at the first half. Hart with only 37 yards. That's well below what you'd expect for him.
An unselfish quarterback doesn't worry about the stats in that first opening game either.
So from the 24-yard line, the Cardinals with the football, down by 3 points. Otis Anderson and Wayne Morris are the running backs. Al Chandler's back in there, tight end. Here comes Anderson. And just like that, he's out to the 30-yard line, and he picked up where he left off.
Cliff Harris had to make the stop with Dede Lewis. Now watch this. Now number 32 runs where, look at this trap block by Young on Brunig. And the trouble is that number 32 will sort of run wherever the open country is, and that's pretty scary, I'm telling you. 216 yards.
Well, we have a man shaken up for Dallas. That's Dave Stalls, the defensive tackle out of northern Colorado. We have a timeout a year ago from Michigan State has replaced him at that left defensive tackle spot on a 2nd and 4. Here's Anderson again, out to the 40, to the 44-yard line, first down. Bob Young threw the big block. But, Tom, I've never seen a rookie make any more impressive debut than this guy.
Boy, look at the acceleration. He sort of shifted gears at about the line of scrimmage. You're behind now. Let's just watch together. Here's the fake inside to the tight end. Inside handoff. Number 32. I think Jimmy Brown wore that number. Watch right here where he just decides to put it on. Boy, Brody can't handle him.
We understand, Stalls was hurt. Earlier, the Cowboys had another player hurt in this game, Larry Brinson. Slight shoulder separation. He's the backup fullback to Robert Newhouse. On a first down, Morris. And Morris, very resourceful effort just to avoid a long loss on that play as he gets across the 45 to the 46-yard line. Tough running. 174
carries by Wayne, Gary, last year without a fumble. Notice how steady he is. Now, Larry Cole finally is the one that makes the tackle, and Cole is working on Deardorff. Harvey Martin all the way from his defensive end spot in on the play, too.
Well, Anderson's going to come out of the ball game as here's the final. Miami, boy, they had a tough time against Buffalo. They have a long string of victories over the Bills.
Chuck Knox has the Bills going, though. They're going to be tough from now on.
2nd down, 7 from the 47-yard line. As mentioned, Anderson has come out of the ball game. Hart on a delay, gives off Willard Harrell. And Harrell close to the midfield stripe. Harrell's very good on that delay, and he'll come back out now as Anderson comes back onto the football field. I imagine the Cowboys glad to see him out of there.
Well, I didn't realize that, and not having played defense for a few years, what it really means. I asked somebody about the Cardinal offensive line. They said, who's running behind it? Right away, it makes a difference. If you can handle a blocker on a slow back, you can still make the tackle. But with a guy like Anderson or Dorsett, you make a mistake and you're off balance and the guy goes right by you. Makes a difference.
Look at the third down conversions. You now have a 3rd and 4 just short of the 50-yard line. 12-17 to go, third quarter. Gray, Tilley, the wide receivers. Bruce Thornton has checked in as a defensive end for Dallas. He's the rookie from Illinois. Far side, Morris had double coverage on him. Further up the field, Gray and Hart just kind of had to lay back and get rid of that one.
The old frequency, watch, as Hegman and Harris had Wayne Morris covered rather easily. And Dallas played the percentages, and they knew what the play was.
Minnesota now leading San Francisco. Both those teams with shaky preseasons, but the Vikings are the lead, and Philadelphia now in the fourth quarter. Boy, Harold Carmichael continuing his string in that game. Looked like Jaworski having a great first half for Philadelphia.
And the Eagle defense extremely nasty.
Here's Little, big rush. He just got that underway. Big rush was put on that time. Back deep, Wade Manning. Manning is hit immediately. Good coverage that time. Coming down on the play was Roy Green, who was a 4th-round draft pick out of Henderson State.
Just walking around on a Sunday afternoon, just cruising.
Boy, what a job he has done in his second year, 62 years of age. From the 18-yard line, Dallas with the football with a 3-point lead. In motion comes Pearson. This is Ron Springs, the rookie, and he gets back to the line of scrimmage, and that's about all. Good reaction by Bob Pollard and Ken Green. And Pollard, who was elected defensive co-captain this week for St. Louis, what an acquisition he's been from the Saints.
Pollard gets married tomorrow. He's flying right out of here to New Orleans and getting married, and I would have a tendency to protect myself at all times if I was getting married tomorrow. Let my bride play if need be. Tape her up.
Second down 10. When you played, you didn't protect yourself out there. 11.5 minutes to go in this third quarter. Here's Staubach on the 2nd and 10. Good protection. And the pass by Cosby. Did he catch it or not? Doug Cosby, they're saying that it was trapped. It was not a completion. He trapped the football at the 26-yard line, and Cosby, who's 6'6", 230 pounds, he doesn't agree.
Boy, he's a pretty confident young man, though. Maybe he was in the law school at Santa Clara. But watch this. The ball does look like it's a little low. And Rogers made a couple of throws that were just thrown downhill, which is not like him. Now, we certainly couldn't tell from this vantage point, but I know the officials, had their eye examination much later than I've had mine.
Preston Pearson has now come in on a 3rd and 10, and that's, according to all scouting reports, he's always in there on 3rd down passing situations. From the 18-yard line, Staubach, good pressure put on. Dawson had him, he got away. Pollard giving chase. Staubach throwing, Drew Pearson. And Pearson is dropped by Ken Stone, and Staubach has, like a magician, averted disaster and turned it into a big gainer.
All right, watch the rush now. Dawson is the one that almost gets a hand on him. Watch this defensive rush. 73. Working. Finally comes through. Now watch the throw. Pollard is in the wake. Now on 3rd downs last year, Roger Staubach had 7 of his touchdown passes. Very dangerous in 3rd down shotgun territory. Look at this, number 88. Just like Landry drew on the board that way. Kenny Stone finally gets in on the tackle.
You know how hard it is to throw a pass running to your right like that and have something on it?
Yes.
Dawson almost had him, but he did not have him in control. That new rule, of course, wouldn't have been in effect. Now Staubach with a good mobility, a 41-yard gain on that play. Here's Newhouse. Newhouse to the 35, 33. And so Staubach has turned this game around right now with that outstanding scrambling effort. Tim Carney made the tackle, and Houston has finally overhauled Washington, trailing throughout this football game.
Some young running back named Campbell scored on a 3-yard run, and it's 29-27 now. Houston leading, and they've come from the other side of the Great Divide to get close.
2nd down 2 for Dallas from the 33. 10.5 minutes to go. Third quarter, 10-7.
It's really humid, isn't it? It must be hot down on that playing surface, huh?
It's got to be. It was 80 degrees at kickoff time. Relative humidity was 60%, and it's probably climbing. There's a little inside reverse to Saldi, the tight end, and he doesn't get anything. Roger Worley came over there and really cut the legs out from under him.
Well, if you want to teach a young person how to be a defensive back, it would be watch number 22, Roch Worley. He doesn't go for the fakes going across field, and all the receivers are running left to right. He comes right up and even saved his shoulder. Watch how Worley does not use his shoulder, which I don't recommend. I say if you go ahead and use the shoulder and lock the arms, you'll never get an injury. This time Roger sort of throws his body and sideways. You might get a rib that way hurt.
He's playing with that knee. 3rd and 2, they gain nothing. We understand that Carl Allen, the defensive back for the Cardinals, suffered a concussion. He will not return, and Perry Smith has replaced him now at left cornerback. Play action, Staubach on a 3rd and 2. Wide open Saldi. Perry Smith makes the tackle, but it's a 1st down.
You had no longer gotten Smith in the game, so he's a little bit cold and probably a little reticent anyway. And Roger goes right there. Watch the fake by Roger. Watch this. You don't see him overact like this much. He really turns his back to that defensive linebacker. Now just sort of dumps it. It's like, I gotcha.
Well, Saldi was a guy that broke his arm last year, and he's just a real hard-nosed football player.
Looking diagonally across. Look how Roger hid the ball from the people that he's trying to fool.
Mixing them up and really showing an intricate offense. 1st down now from the 28-yard line. That's Dupree in motion. Little mishandled snap. Here's Tony Hill. Hill, he's down to the 20. Hill to the 15-yard line, and that'll be another 1st down. And that big 41-yard pass completion looking mighty big right now in this game as Dallas moving the ball effectively. Tim Carney with the tackle on Hill.
And the poor cornerback from Colorado State, Perry Smith, has only been in there about 20 seconds, and he can feel the pressure around his throat. Watch Cooper, the young tackle, get out and make a good block right there for Dallas. And here comes Tony Hill. Better call the emergency squad, boy, when these teams through there.
They have the Irish connection up there, and Donovan, Fitzgerald, Rafferty, and Cooper. Irish descent, and they were out running ahead of them, weren't they? First down from the 14-yard line.
They laugh a lot.
Here's Newhouse. He's hit immediately by Green, gets away from him, and then at the 10-yard line, he's dropped by Steve Niels. He just ran out of the arms of Ken Green that time, the strong safety, who came up, stepped up there, but couldn't stop him. And Dallas is moving the football just outside the 10. It'll be second down and 6 yards to go. Newhouse, 68 yards now on 10 carries.
Third down play, though. Third down. The best team on third down plays in the National Football League, the Dallas Cowboys. That's the reason they've been in 5 Super Bowls.
So on a second down here, they have 6 yards to go. Here's Staubach. He's got Dupree. Dupree one-on-one, knocked out of bounds by Worley. Worley never did get him off his feet. But coming over there, his forward progress is going to be marked outside the 5 at the 6-yard line.
It's just a short out by the tight end. See Dupree just being allowed to be pushed right out in the flat. Biggest set of hands this side of I don't know where. I've never seen a set any bigger than BJ's.
Boy, he works hard at it. It's third down 2. 3 tight ends now in. Dallas has used that formation on these short yardage situations. 3rd and 2 from the 6. Outside, 7 minutes remaining now in this third quarter. That's Salvi jumping outside. Ron Springs. He didn't get it. Great reaction by Bob Pollard, who stepped in, and they jammed that one up. They're going to have to settle for a field goal.
Last 2 times that Ron Springs ran with the ball, I didn't think he really struck it in there. Watch this. He almost goes in too high and doesn't really lower that shoulder and try to get what he can. That's a very dangerous way to run inside.
Well, look at that gang tackling, would you, Tom? They've got a lot of white shirts there.
Yeah, but turn that shoulder under. If you're a young running back, you can't run this high up in there because they're not big wide holes in this league.
Seption now is going to attempt a 24-yard field goal. Carano will hold. He's already hit one from 38 yards. That coming in the first quarter. Seption's kick is on the way. He got it. And so Dallas comes away with 3 points. They have a 13-7 lead with 6:19. Number 15th. That's on a Saturday and at 3:30 Eastern Time. Immediately before that is Project SOS.
That's Needham and that great vehicle of his, right? On the desert.
1,000 parts, I understand, in that machine.
All handmade.
And here they come out with Roy Green running the football, and Green breaks it all the way out to the 33-yard line. That play almost broke for the distance. Dennis Thurman dropped him a 32-yard return. And St. Louis down 13-7. Have the football, and San Francisco, you know, Bill Waltz said we're going to be under wraps until we start the regular season, and they're scoring some points in that game.
San Francisco, it's Elliott on a 40-yard run. It's now 22-21 49ers, and I've always thought that Walsh was one of the great offensive coaches anywhere in football.
They say he's a genius at throwing the football. From the 34-yard line, first down. Chandler jumps into the tight end spot. Hart giving off to O.J. Anderson, and he's just taking people with him. Across the 40, the 42. The ball is loose, but it's been blown dead. Bob Brunig dropped it.
What a great play, though, the defense made on that third down. So now a touchdown, and the Cardinals can still go back ahead. The extra field goal really was, I think, an advantage for the guys in the red uniforms right now, especially when you got a young back, number 32, who doesn't know you can get hurt.
Well, this defense of St. Louis really came together late last year. They allowed only 113 points the last 8 games after really giving up a lot of points in the early going. Second down 2. Anderson now over the 100-yard mark. Tom, he has 106 yards already. A little trouble this time, but somehow he makes maybe, well, he got back to the line of scrimmage. As Randy White hit him.
Randy White went right in there and took the poor back that was faking. It was Wayne Morris that really took a shot. And it looks to me like Dallas is a little bit nasty and ornery on defense now. They're all out there sort of punching the palm of their hand. They do not like the way this game is going.
Bob Young trying to block Randy White. That is some chore. Third down, 2 yards to go. No gain or loss on that last play. There they are, that forward wall.
Oh,
There's
boy.
White.
64-54 hike.
on a third down. Hart's going to try to get it to the airways. He's looking to Mel Gray. Gray is past his man. He's got a chance, but good defense by Benny Barnes, and Gray didn't like it. He is asking for some help down there.
Great position by number 31, though. He made it to where Gray had to go over his body to get the ball, and the defensive players allowed to do that. I thought Benny Barnes really pulls it off. Watch number 31 now. Just turn. Now, he's okay. He's trying for it, too, right? Good pass protection, though. Watch Young and Braheny and company go after Randy White and Harvey Martin. Good bit of blocking there, and loaded up and on its way. The projectile almost found its mark.
You're looking at 51 Braheny, who was in the hospital this week with a staph infection on his elbow, but he's played well. Little has not kicked the ball well, however, but he's going to get a roll. Wade Manning at the 23 and to the 25-yard line. And Kurt Allerman loses his helmet. That was a 35-yard kick. And at the 25-yard line, Dallas will have the football with a 13-7 lead. Terry Bender along with Tom Brookshire. We have 4:33 left in the third quarter. From the 25-yard line, the Cowboys have the football. They have a 13-7 lead.
I'm loosening my tie and taking it off. This is going to be a rough third and fourth period left. You know that?
You already rolled your sleeves up.
I know it. I'm ready.
Tony Hill goes in motion. Staubach near side. Drew Pearson. Roger Worley coming up, but not until they complete it to the 31.
Here's the final score. It's 29-27. Nobody thought that, obviously, the Redskins would give up 29 points or score 27. That's quite an unusual score.
You know, we mentioned Tom Braheny playing center, and the reason he's had to go all the way is Tom Banks, who is not really dressed for the game, doesn't have his shoulder pads on, has had a terrible contusion of his thigh.
Well, he's a great offensive player, too.
He's had trouble with it hemorrhaging on him, and he's been in the hospital in and out, and they don't know when he's going to be back. 2nd and 4 from the 31. Here's Solly again. Staubach on a quick counter to Newhouse, and Newhouse is going to get some additional help. They grabbed him by the face mask. With a tack on some yardage, and that will give Dallas a first down.
Pretty good defensive move on the ball, too. The linebackers came through, and I thought that the big fellow on the nose, Charlie Davis, straightened it up in good shape. You can't grab that face mask, though. Again, all these are protection rules that have been put in to keep the players safe, and that's very important.
Right now, St. Louis has Keith Simons in there also. They've been alternating. One of the things that Bud Wilkinson wanted to do, Tom, was get equal people in that three-man front. He could rest his others.
Face mask, number 70, defense, first down.
And that is Simons, who I just mentioned.
But most of the rules are made so that the defense can't do anything. Really, so that the offense can score more points. Everybody thinks that they want to see more scoring. I guess that's true.
Well, when you played, they just knew that they had to protect you a little bit, so they changed it after that, right?
The ball was round when I played.
First down 10 from the 40. Staubach on the first down. Protection, excellent. And incomplete. Depending on the play was Eric Williams, 55. The intended receiver was Ron Springs at the 45. A big game between Atlanta and New Orleans today, and they are going after each other, aren't they?
Francis, a 21-yard pass from Bartkowski, and it's 31-27. There's another one. New Orleans had a big lead early.
You know, it's pointed out that the NFL wanted more offense, and Tom, if this first week is any indication, they're getting it. Well, now, wait a minute.
Well, it's snowing in Chicago, you're going to tell me, right? 2 feet of snow at Soldier Field.
Boy, you made me look bad there. 2nd down 10 from the 40.
They're allowed to hold in that game.
4:20 to go, third quarter. Staubach on the play action. Coming back to the near side to Doug Cosby. It's loose. Who's got it? Picking it up is Roger Worley. Worley's got it in St. Louis with a major opportunity. Doug Cosby with the catch, but the rookie somehow didn't hang on to it.
I'll tell you, the Cardinals have the hitters now. Watch Roger fake and come back to the right of your screen and lay a perfect pass on. From left to right, that's Cosby, the young rookie. And here he doesn't get the ball put away. I believe that was Kenny Stone, the Vanderbilt safety man, that didn't watch Worley make the quick move. Beats Tony Hill to the ball.
The rookie coughs it up, and the veteran Roger Worley comes up with it. And he has come up with 18 fumble recoveries in his career, which is a Cardinal record.
And Jimmy Hart loves to get a turnover.
So from the 32-yard line, the Cardinals will try to capitalize. They trail 13-7. Jim Hart looking. Mel Gray's open. Gray to the 20. One-on-one on the far side, and he's going to be wrestled out. One-on-one. Excellent play by Aaron Kyle, or Gray would have taken it in.
Incredible move. Now watch this. Here's a fellow we told you that's at least a 9.5 man. Drives you off straight. A ball is thrown early. And watch Kyle realizing, all right, I'll give up the completion. I got to be careful with this dude.
Boy, that is a scary situation for a cornerback, huh?
I'll tell you, that was really a cleaned-off pass, too. Jimmy Hart really threw that ball.
From the 18, a first down now for the Cardinals. They have a chance to go on top in this game. They trail 13-7 as Chandler jumps into the tight end spot. Gray to the bottom of the screen this time. Hart back protection is excellent. Throwing. Pat Tilley, touchdown. And we're all tied up. Pat Tilley, who last year caught 62 passes, comes up with the first touchdown catch in 1979 for himself.
But that's as good a pass blocking job as the offensive line has ever done. They kept Randy White and Martin out. Watch the left part of your screen now. You want to see some effort. Just watch. 64. Brahaney, 51. That's Steve, 68. Deerdorf, look at this time. That's about a 6-second pattern, a perfect throw. And Tilley, of course, beats Kyle just by this much.
Pat Tilley with the great hands. As now Mike Wood attempting the point after. And for the first time in this game, the Cardinals.
Imagine Ron Springs, a rookie, though, and Landry is starting him in this game and allowed him to run back kickoffs in this game.
I don't think even Ohio State Stadium has had this much noise at this point. Little with another fine kick. He's done a job today. Here comes Manning. Manning to the 15, look out, and he's out to the 19, and what a hit. Manning annihilated on the far side, as that was Ken Green, also Roy Green over there after a 16-yard return, and the Cardinals are fired up.
Well, the ball's in Dallas's court now. You've got a good offense, show us, because we just took the lead. And again, Jimmy Hart has been one of the great quarterbacks at taking your mistake and getting on the board very quickly.
Been pointed out to us that look at that drive, 32 yards on the fumble recovery by Worley. We pointed out to us one of the outstanding special teams player for the Cardinals. John Bearfield is not in the lineup. He has suffered a slight concussion, and he won't be back. So the hitting has been something here today. On the 18-yard line, first down, Southey in motion. Quick pitch, Ron Springs. Springs having footing problems, and St. Louis is fired up. That's quite apparent, isn't it?
That's Carney that makes the big tackle, number 56. It looks to me like Dallas is using a lot of different fronts and sets now. Good blocking there by Donovan. Looked to me like Springs is feeling his way a little bit right now. He just slipped that time, sort of looking for somewhere else to go.
The question is, would Landry bring in Dorsett? Springs 9 for 14, and now in a seesaw affair. Is that final now? It is. Minnesota defeated San Francisco 28-22 in a nip-and-tuck game.
Sammy White recovered a fumble for a touchdown.
All right, here comes Ron Springs trying to go wide on a second down and 10, and nothing developing is Tim Carney, number 56. He is playing like he's obsessed. He's telling Staubach, I want some more of that.
He says, I want some of you, I guess. He looked like he was challenging everybody.
Well, you know, Tim has had some problems with his temper, but he's gotten it under control this year.
Well, they used to say he was wacky, but the one thing he does is really hit people. He used to hit before the play and after the play a lot. Now he's hitting during the play. Look at this tackle.
Third down and 9. Staubach from the shotgun will try somehow to get the Cowboys moving. On the third down and 9, the shotgun, good protection. He throws Preston Pearson. Had he caught it, he would have had a first down, but he couldn't hang on. And you do not see Preston Pearson do that very often.
Ball was surely catchable. And, of course, he just doesn't miss him. Pretty much self-explanatory.
He had 47
right
catches a year ago. That's not indicative of what Dallas usually does.
No, they're usually just over 50%. Look at this. He says, I threw it right in there. Coach, you want me to throw it and catch it? So now Landry's looking for Pearson.
Danny White, as you look at Willard Harrell, standing back at the 35-yard line. There's his average, 41 yards. A fine kick. Fair catch is called for by Harrell, and he's got it at the 41-yard line. A 40-yard kick by Danny White, and the roar is deafening here at Busch Memorial Stadium. As the Cardinals with that 1-point lead, they have the football from the 41.
I thought it was rather interesting that on the sidelines, on the Dallas sidelines, that there's a great debate about whether Roger threw the ball correctly or not over there. And it's not that all teams don't have these problems, but of all the teams I've ever seen with a lot of superstars, Landry's managed to keep all the egos at a pretty decent level, better than any coach of all time.
And you can see Pearson and Staubach discussing that last play. Anderson and Morris now from the 41-yard line, a first down. 2:11 to go, third quarter. Hart on first down, pumps once. He's got Tilley, almost intercepted by Aaron Kyle. Boy, was that close, and Kyle almost had one. He wouldn't have been able to run with it, but he had the interception.
All right, here's the young man that caught the TD pass, turns it in, comes about. Well, look at Kyle, though. The #1 draft pick from Wyoming. You just can't play it any better than that.
In another Eastern Division battle, we have a final. The Giants and Eagles, and the Eagles won it, but not easily.
Giants playing good defense as always.
The Giants play the Cardinals next week in New York. Second down 10 from the 41.5-yard line. 2:07 remaining in this third quarter. 14-13 St. Louis. This is Wayne Morris, and Morris has Brunig all over him. And he's going to pick up 2 yards at best. And Dallas with that good reaction defense that time, particularly Bob Brunig, a man shaken up on the play now for St. Louis.
You know that we haven't had a call yet for Harvey Martin, number 79.
That's Terry Steve. It's getting up 3 sacks 2 years ago, 16 last year, and they said he was coming back healthy and a new Harvey Martin. He wanted to regain his stature. Joe Bostic has replaced Steve. He's the third-round draft pick, a rookie out of Clemson. They like him, but obviously he doesn't have a lot of experience. Third down and 8. Hart is hit as he tries to throw. Is it fumbled? Yes. It's an incomplete pass. There for a moment, picking up the ball was Dennis Thurman. You thought that ball might be live, but it was ruled an incomplete pass.
Who is it that makes the move? Henderson? It's Hollywood Henderson. I believe the arm was going forward, but the ball wasn't on the hand. That's going to be a pretty close call. I believe that the right arm went through, but the ball was already gone.
How did he get through there so quickly?
He's like a reptile. He came right by Braheny. Braheny never even saw him.
He played in the Pro Bowl in 1978, and Henderson wants to return. Back deep goes Wayne Manning, as to kick the ball will be Little again. Steve Little, no rush put on this time. He didn't hit it well. Off the side of his foot, he's getting a roll, though, and it's going to roll out at the 20-yard line. And so Dallas will have the football there after a 36-yard kick by Steve Little. In a game that, well, it's just had a little bit of everything. I want to remind you something that's going to have a little bit of everything, and that's the outstanding stuntman. From the 20.
I can't even start my car in the morning. He's got a 780 miles an hour he gets.
Wonder what his gas mileage is. Here is Newhouse trying to go wide, and he has 5, 6, 7 yards. Robert Newhouse, Pat Donovan threw a big block, number 67 for Dallas, and that gave Newhouse the running room.
So did Young Springs. Watch number 20 to the right of your screen now. The rookie from Ohio State gets out in front, and he and Donovan together sort of team up. Don't do a bad job out there. Cardinals are falling like redwood.
Ken Stone getting a shoulder into him. Pickup of 6, and the Jets in his late starting game leading Cleveland 3-0.
Leahy's 34-yard field goal.
There's Tom Landry on a 2nd down and 3.
He doesn't even perspire.
This is Ron Springs. He's got some running room and a first down as he's out to the 33-yard line. Bob Pollard made the stop. And Ron Springs being welcoming into the National Football League. He has been indoctrinated in a hurry in a real rivalry here today.
Good job by Fitzgerald, the offensive center, who, by the way, is healthy, completely healthy for the first time in a long time. And when he is, the big Irishman from up in Massachusetts is really a fine football player, an offensive center.
We understand the injury to Terry Steve, not all that serious. He had the wind knocked out of him. He will be back when the Cardinals get the football. 30 seconds to go in this third quarter. From the 33, a first down. Staubach to Newhouse. Newhouse, a lot of congestion to the 35-yard line. Keith Simons, number 7, he's seeing a lot of action. He's been in there quite a bit now in place of Charlie Davis at that nose tackle spot.
I wonder how young Jim Cooper, number 61, is faring at right tackle. That was Rayfield Wright's for years, and then young Frederick was in there, and now young Cooper, who's really sort of a free agent.
Well, you know, they thought that Rayfield Wright would be 100%, but he's had the knee trouble.
The former Dallas kicker, a 34-yard field goal for that Patera field goal.
Boy, Tom, this last 15 minutes could be something, huh? From the 35-yard line, 2nd and 8 for Dallas. Staubach back to throw. Protection is there over the middle. And he hit the big tight end Cosby, and he's seeing a lot of action in this game.
Boy, I mean, that Pollard, number 82, really, the Cardinals really came on defense this time. Watch the right part of your screen. They're getting running starts, and Rafferty and Fitzgerald and young Cooper, they're hanging in there. I'm telling you, there's some shots being laid on each other. Don't take your helmet off this afternoon.
Had some people out of this game with the concussions. John Bearfield for one. And now from the 46-yard line, it's a first down. Just underway in the fourth quarter. The last 8 meetings, these two teams have won 4 each. However, Dallas won both of them last year, and Dallas is trying to win their 15th straight opening day game. Here's Ron Springs trying to go wide. Mark Arneson's over there. But he breaks it forward and gets to the 49-yard line.
Good effort. He could have lost 4 and ends up getting about 1 back, I think. Arneson has the ball carrier, Springs, dead to rights. Watch this. Fake inside off the eye. And now we're going to belly and go a little bit deeper and try to get outside with it. Arneson is waiting. This is the reason linebackers come back to camp, just for moments like this, and this time it gets away. Springs did a good job. Pollard finally does it, huh?
2nd down 8. Mike Dawson has come out of the lineup. John Zook has replaced him, a defensive right end. Here's Staubach. He wants to throw it. Steps up. Newhouse, the intended receiver. Roger Worley around the ball again, and he has been around the ball all afternoon long. That's going to bring up a 3rd and 8.
Pretty quick move by Roger. He is, by the way, over 200 yards for the 45th time in his career. He's 16 of 26, 224 today. If they pay off on touchdowns, right, he needs some points right now.
But that stat is not going to make Tom Landry happy. 4 for 10 on 3rd downs, and they come to another one. Preston Pearson is in.
This is 3rd and long, too. He's got darn near 8.
Roger Staubach, pressure put on. He releases the ball to Drew Pearson, and Pearson makes a sliding catch at the 30-yard line. First down. He was hit hard as he released the ball, but a 21-yard pass completion.
Well, I said I thought the last 3 balls he threw against Pittsburgh were as clean as I've ever seen Roger throw the ball, but this is one of the great passes. I'm sure that he'll say the snap by Fitzgerald, the blind snap from the shotgun. Watch this throw. A little bit of heat breathing on his back. He didn't even see it. And I'm telling you, it's low and a fastball. And number 88 just slides under. Roy Green right there, but too late.
He has lost nothing.
Oh, what a great throw that was.
Pearson now has 5 catches for 99 yards. First down from the 30-yard line. Ron Springs, he's wanting to throw. He's a left-hander. Wide open. Tony Hill. Touchdown. I didn't know that Springs was left-handed, and I'm not sure that St. Louis knew that.
Maybe he isn't. All I know, he threw a pretty good spiral, and he did what you should do on running passes like that. He threw it early. He didn't allow the defense time to recover and perhaps come over and knock it away. Look at Tony Hill. That's the last person he thought he was going to get a ball from. Here it is from the eye, sprint out left, takes a couple of good steps. Now watch him. He's going to project this baby and throw it. Rafferty gives him a little time. That's not a bad spiral.
Tom Landry may have called a pretty good play, you think?
Yeah, Stone was cut.
Unemotional guy, but seemingly always able to arise to the occasion. And now with a 19-14 lead, Toronto having trouble with the snap. Eric Williams is after him, and that ball's in a bunch of white jerseys. So the point after goes awry, and it's a 19-14 game at the 12:35 mark. And you don't think it isn't tough for 79 yards. The U.S. Open following here. It'll be Jimmy Connors and Bruce Manson if that match continues. As we'll be joining Pat Summerall and Tony Trabert as back deep, Roy Green and Willard Harold. And everybody's buzzing about that touchdown pass by Spring.
It's very important, though, that they missed the extra point. And now St. Louis has a chance. If they get good run back, they can get back in this like nothing. Good
Back
kick.
Is Harold, and he's not going to bring it out. Septian got into that one. He got it all, didn't he?
Boy, the coach loves that. No run backs. Just drop it on the 20. We'll start from there. Super kick.
Let's check now that offensive line for St. Louis. Let's see if Steve is going to come back into the lineup. As I mentioned earlier, the Cardinals concerned about the backup depth. They traded Roger Finney to New Orleans, who was a backup of a year ago, and Steve is back. He will continue at the right guard for the Cardinals.
And Mullins left and just went home, didn't he? So they didn't have any backup.
He was playing well, too. He's a local boy from St. Louis. After giving up football for a while, went back. The Giants lost him to the Cardinals. From the 20-yard line, St. Louis trailing 19-14. Jim Hart throwing a lot on first down. Somehow gets rid of this, intended for Gray.
A real good example, though, of the way I think that there's a fairness in the league nobody gives the credit for. Randy White that time locked horns with Bob Young and then made a late run at Jimmy Hart on the play. And he got there late, and he grabbed the quarterback and didn't hit him and held him. And we never get a chance to show that because people think everybody's really trying to kill everybody else. And I think that good sportsmanship should be shown once in a while. Let's see if Sandy Grossman, our director, happens to have that. Watch number to the right of your screen. Watch 54 now. Go around. And he'll come in and hold the quarterback up and not hit him right there. That's class.
And that brings up a 2nd and 10 from the 20-yard line. A give to Wayne Morris, and Morris gets back to the line of scrimmage. Harvey Martin made sure of that. He stubbed that one very well. The guy was the NFC Defensive Player of the Year in '77. Guess who was in '78? His partner, Randy White.
Well, they got the Cove MVP in Super Bowl. My numbers are running together. What Super Bowl was it in New Orleans we did?
That was 12, I think.
They split a Corvette. Each of them took a couple of doors and a fender and split it. Or whatever the car was.
3rd down 10 from the 20-yard line. I don't think they could get in there. They're big. 11:46 left in this game. Chandler into the tight end spot. We haven't seen a lot of Anderson here lately. Here's Hart back again. Over the middle, here's Wayne Morris. That's a first down. And Morris all the way out to the 38-yard line. Aaron Kyles cut him down, but Wayne Morris went airborne on that play.
Good job by the other receivers. The other receivers took everybody deep, including Hollywood Henderson, and then they turned back and made some blocks and allowed Morris in to sort of get a little bit of running room right in here. They've turned on their secondary people and are screening them off. Good effort by Morris.
And a big play for St. Louis as they keep this drive going. First down now at the 38-yard line. Hart wants to throw again. Throw to Chandler. Chandler is going to catch it and move it to the 44-yard line. Henderson making a stop, and Chandler doing quite a job today.
Guess what? The Cowboys safety blitz that time, and Jimmy Hart and company were ready for it. They handled and picked up the blitz, and they made the completion.
On the near sideline, that's John Bearfield. We mentioned he suffered a concussion in this game, and they're taking him out on a stretcher. I'm sure as a precautionary method. And Bearfield, who's looked so good, the second-year man out of Texas A&I, I'm just going to get him out of here. And Los Angeles now leading Oakland. What a shootout that should be.
Wendell Tyler, a 1-yard touchdown run. Los Angeles draws first blood.
2nd and 5 from the 43-yard line. Hart on a play-action fake to Anderson. Gets some time to throw, and Pat Tilley can't hang on. A little behind him. Hart was shaken up a little bit, wasn't he?
He's bending over. He watched the ball go, and I think Harvey Martin might have run by him and accidentally, and I mean that, sort of belted him and knocked the wind out. Because they weren't on the ground, and I think Hart was watching the ball probably go, and that's when quarterbacks really get hurt, is when they're sort of watching the ball go toward the target and they relax a little bit.
Well, he's got a 3rd down coming up, 3rd and 5.
Quickly now, before the play, they get out of the huddle. Here's the fake. Jimmy goes up. He doesn't throw a great pass here. Bethea putting some pressure on it. It's Bethea that comes through, 76, huh? Good
So
rush.
the 3rd and 5 now from the 43. The Cardinals 8 of 13 on 3rd downs. Hart to try again, looking for somebody to clear. That's Steve. Did he get it? No, incomplete. Boy, he tried to put that ball in between two defenders.
Benny Barnes was glued on his back, too. Number 31 got away with it again. He's running right in the shadow with the intended receiver and made it.
And there's Bearfield being taken off the field. Well, we hope he's all right. Wade Manning now goes back for this anticipated punt from Steve Little. Hart in this game is 10 of 23 now for 91 yards. But he has thrown 2 touchdown passes.
This Little's got to relax and just start stroking it. I've watched him warming up. He can kick it out of sight.
This one hit very high, but not very long. Manning with a fair catch at the 28-yard line. So Dallas with a good field position, and that was only a 30-yard kick that time by Little. Wait a minute, we've got a flag. As we mentioned, there was a flag just before we left you, and the penalty was against Thomas Henderson for illegal use of the hands. So now the Cowboys, instead of having the football at the 28, going to be back on the 18-yard line.
This man, Tom Landry, would like to have the offense sort of consume some time, sit on it for 5 or 6 minutes, and I think St. Louis lost a golden opportunity. That drive should not have sputtered as badly as that. They got to work their problems out.
Well, they've gone away from O.J. Anderson, haven't they?
Well, I don't think he knows the pass routes probably as well, and Jimmy's having to throw the ball a lot. Hart is.
So from the 18-yard line, the Cowboys with a 19-14 lead. Staubach off to Newhouse. Look at Newhouse just kind of wind his way around out to the 24-yard line. Steve Niels eventually dropped him.
Here's Carney now getting a shot at Newhouse. He loves to hit anything, but sometimes what you see is not what you get. Look at Carney. He is so mad. Like, what do I have to do, he says.
Gain of 6, 2nd and 4.
Hope that's not a penalty when you pound your fist against the ground.
What are you trying to say? Springs, Newhouse, the running backs. Pearson and Hill, the wide receivers. Newhouse again, and as he hit and drilled back, that's Eric Williams, and now Williams is going to get a flag. Evidently a little bit too aggressive on that tackle, and that's going to hurt St. Louis because that would have brought up a 3rd down, instead 15 yards.
Well, you know, you can't yell obscene things either. He might have said something. But my goodness, I can't believe that you can no longer talk to your opposition.
Number 55, defense, 1st down.
Oh, wait a minute.
Oh, that's what it was. That is a no-no. Yeah.
That's talking with your hands.
He said, how many fingers do I have? But that was not a very good play at that time. A good tackle, you should just walk away and say, hey, nice, and help the guy up because you did the job. You won it without that.
They call him Eric the Red out of USC. That is the 6th penalty against the Cardinals for a total of 50 yards. From the 41, 1st down. Staubach got time to throw. Tony Hill, I guess the intended receiver, but looked like he may have slipped and had fallen down trying to get over there. Boy, they really double-teamed Steve Niels on that play. He came blitzing from that left-hand side, and they took him out of there.
Hey, that Cardinal defense has played extremely well today. Roger, while very effective, there are not a lot of options open.
He's had to work for it. Staubach 17 of 28, 241 yards in this game. Dawson has come out. John Zook replaces him.
Newhouse just told Springs what to do that time. The rookie is lined up right behind him. Now they split.
2nd and 10. This is Saldi again in motion. Staubach counters with Springs, and Springs spins out of the grass to Bob Rozier, and then Charlie Davis over there.
Here's the great thing that the 34 can give you. If the linebackers move into the hole and move up and don't get scraped up, they can be very effective and make a lot of tackles.
3rd down, 6, and we have 8 minutes now left in this game. The Cowboys with a 19-14 lead. They led early in this game 10-0. There was 10-7, and then 14-13 the Cardinals.
Large third down conversion here, though. Third and again about 7.
Preston Pearson has come back in on this passing situation. Staubach, the blitz is on. Giving chase is Lee Nelson. It's caught. A catch by Preston Pearson for the first down. Again, Staubach has averted everything the Cardinals can throw at him.
And what can you say about a catch by Pearson, who dropped one earlier that hit him right in the hands? Watch this. A great throw. Lee Nelson is covering, and very well the corner. Now watch this catch. And somehow the feet, yeah, you're right, they're inside. Here's the rush. The Cardinals now getting a little bit desperate. They send everybody but Bud and Tommy Bettis himself. Tommy Bettis. Yankowski rolled him over.
An 11-yard completion. 2 big scrambling plays in this game. One for 41 yards. This one for 11. Keeping the drive going. First down at the St. Louis 46-yard line. Staubach again. Harry Smith had that played very well. Defending against Tony Hill. Well, it's little things like that, Tom, isn't it? 1-2 plays a quarterback can make that makes the difference on going all the way to the Super Bowl.
It's also the penalty that you got after a great defensive play. When you get a silly penalty, it keeps the Dallas drive alive. They would have been 3rd and long back there.
The score out west, San Diego leading Seattle. 2 teams are on their way up the ladder.
Williams with a 2-yard touchdown run, and it's the Chargers under Coryell, 7-3.
Dupree replaces Cosby at tight end. 2nd and 10 now from the 46-yard line. Staubach to Springs. Springs is going to get across the 45, inside the 45 to the 44-yard line.
There's the young rookie back, an example of running outside the hole. He was supposed to cut back inside, and that time he ran off and got sort of mugged by 3 fellows that nobody could help him or protect him from because he ran outside of it.
So on a 3rd down again, they're going to send in Lee Nelson and Roy Green. 3rd and 8. Mike Dawson also coming in as Eric Williams, Tim Carney, and Steve Niels come out of the lineup. The Cardinals are going to have to make their stand here pretty quick.
Where's Preston Pearson? Is he out there?
He's out there. He's split at the bottom of your screen.
Got to put a beeper on him so they can follow him.
Staubach on the 3rd and 8. He's going to Pearson, and he didn't get him. Roy Green had covered him well, and it's a 4th down coming up.
And Roger is mad. He dropped his elbow and threw a bad ball. The worst ball that Staubach's thrown today.
Boy, he hasn't thrown very many of them.
He just drops his shoulder under. This is from the shotgun. He gets a little pressure. He can feel it. He just, for some reason, threw a flutter ball. That was an old knuckler that did a little dipsy-do.
You can see he didn't like that one at all. Willard Harold will go back now, standing at the 10-yard line. Danny White to kick. We still have 6 minutes and 42 seconds left in this game. 19-14, Dallas with the lead. A typical St. Louis-Dallas shootout. Boy, these teams, they've really gone after each other.
St. Louis very much improved this year, though. They're healthy, and I think Bud Wilkinson has an outstanding football team.
I think Dallas is going to have to call a timeout. Yes, they are. They've got a mix-up somewhere on this punting team, so they will use the timeout. Stopping the clock was 6:42. Well, you know, the last time there's a delay of game. They didn't get it off in time. 5 yards.
Delay offense.
That'll move it back to the 49. We started to say the last time the Cowboys lost their first opening game, or their preseason or regular season opener, was in '64, and that was St. Louis.
In St. Louis.
16-6. That's when they had a guy by the name of Charlie Johnson at quarterback.
My heavens, I played against him.
It's 4th and 13.
Danny White will try to nail it.
Going for the coffin corner on the far side. Harrell is going to let it hit. Cardinals almost running into that ball over there.
Great kick.
We have a flag thrown. A 44-yard kick on that play as Roy Green and Lott were over there. They didn't know where that football was.
What happened? Nobody made contact. It's a contact game. What could this infraction be?
I don't know, maybe. That was Henderson down there, and making the block on him was Roy Green.
We have no foul, illegal touching.
Illegal touching, no foul. I'm glad that they called that off. I mean, I know if you eat garlic, you don't want to breathe in the huddle, but illegal touching I've never heard of.
The stick two. From the 7-yard line, first down for the Cardinals. 6.5 minutes left in this game. There's Hart on the first down. He's thrown a lot on first down. Pat Tilley is down here, and we have a interception by Aaron Kyle, who's getting up and running with the ball. Kyle coming to the 20-yard line, to the 17-yard line. Now, there's an interesting play there. Tilley tripped over Aaron Kyle. They're going to rule the ball dead where he hit the ground.
They're going to call the interception good, though, and there was some contact, but both players were going for the football. And please remember that the defensive back has a right to catch that ball, too, when it's in the air. And I'll tell you, Kyle has made two sensational plays today, and this is one of them. A great play, and the ball was beautifully thrown, not overthrown. It might have hung up a little bit. It'll be brought back and touchdown, but Dallas does have possession, which is very important.
Aaron Kyle with 2 interceptions, one of those coming back in the second quarter, and last year he had 4, so he already has half as many as the entire 1978 campaign. That moves it to the 48-yard line of Dallas.
Did Tilley have to wait for that a little bit?
I think he did.
Did he?
But as you pointed out, even though Tilley tripped on him, they were both going for the football. Here's Staubach giving off to Ron Springs, and Springs across the 50, just inside to the St. Louis 49.5. Let's check some scores, Tom. The Jets, well, they're still leading Cleveland 10-7.
Robinson, a 1-yard run for the Jets, 10-7 New York.
Robinson did play today. We had heard he might have hurt himself.
We heard that he hurt his wrist opening his hotel room door.
And L.A. leading Oakland 14-0. Boy, what a game. They early in the preseason played, and Los Angeles won that one.
Pat Hayden to Miller, a 17-yard TD.
Here's Newhouse on a 2nd and 7 to the Cardinal 45-yard line. And the Cardinal defense, Tom, has been out there a lot this last, I'd say 10 minutes of play.
They've got to get a turnover now. It's turnover time with 5.5 minutes left.
There's Tim Carney getting up very slowly. Newhouse now has 94 yards in this game on 16 carries.
We'll find out the time of possession, the two teams, and see if Dallas is beginning to eat up that clock, as we always say.
Carney's come out of the ball game. Preston Pearson has come in for Dallas. 3rd down, 2 yards to go. Staubach looking this way. Drew Pearson. Boy, and Rogers really upsetted himself.
Dropped the elbow under again and threw another flutter ball. Looked like Phil Necro. Watch him. He hurries to throw. He wants to hit the out man. Tony Hill was covered, so he decides to hit the 6th route coming across the middle. He just flat overthrew Pearson.
Well, you got to hand it to this St. Louis defense, don't you? They've been very, very gritty in this game as Willard Harrell, 39, goes back for the punt. Danny White will be kicking from the 40-yard line. Inside, just inside. 5 minutes remaining in this game. Looks like they're going to put a rush on. No, not too big a rush. Danny White hits it very high. Fair catch is called for by Harrell, and he makes it at the 13-yard line.
And there was no illegal touching.
And so with a legal touch, when Atlanta and New Orleans get together, they have some photo finishes. Look at that now.
34 all.
There's O.J. Anderson. We haven't seen him carry the ball in a long time in this game. A brilliant first half. First down now from the 13, and here he comes. And Anderson able to hammer it out to the 18-yard line. Randy White making the stop.
And exchanges unpleasantries with the young running back from the University of Miami. Look at this move in here. That's the little second-place move that separates the average running backs from the other ones. Now, Randy White gave him a little extra shove there, and looks like O.J. said something about, hello, Mr. White, or something. Hello, Big Randy.
One thing about Anderson, he's not afraid to stick it in there. Here comes Wayne Morris. He's close to a first down. Now they're going back to their running game. They had deserted that for a while.
Let's see what happens to Brunig, the middle linebacker, number 53. Stays in there. Boy, a good block put on him by number 68, Steve, who was in and out of the game with an injury. You go in there and root out that middle linebacker, you really have to be a tough dude, I'll tell you.
Well, they may measure here to see if he got the first down. They're looking along the far side. On 2 carries, they almost got it, and they have. They're going to bring the chains in.
Let's see, they got Buffet and White at the tackles. They got Larry Cole and Harvey Martin at the ends. Linebackers look to be Brunig, Dede, and Henderson, the starters. And, of course, Charlie Waters is back home watching. That's going to be a tough year for Charlie Waters, not being able to play, huh?
You got to believe that. There's 68, Terry Steve, out of Wisconsin, a 4th-year man. He was acquired in that Conrad Dobler trade with New Orleans. He came over along with Bob Pollard, exchanged for Dobler and Ike Harris.
And his disposition's a lot better than Conrad's, right?
4 minutes left in this game. First down from the 24-yard line. This is Anderson again. 30. He may go. Anderson may go. He's to the 30, the 25. He's going to break it all the way. Touchdown.
Oh, he gets to spike it now.
76 yards by O.J. Anderson, and you wonder why they weren't running him earlier.
Well, they ran him that time right outside Harvey Martin, and Wortman took Harvey Martin inside, and I think that O.J. Anderson outran 2 or 3 people. Harris got in behind him and had no chance. Now watch the right part of your screen. There's White. There's Harvey Martin getting taken down. From now on, it's a race. Get the stopwatch out. This one's over. Oh.
Boy, you can just... He has 187 yards already on 19 carries. He may be over 200 yards, a record held by John David Crow. The kick by Mike Wood is up, and it is good. And
win the football game.
So the defense, who's been very gritty in this 3rd and 4th quarter, will be called upon again. Ron Springs, Wade Manning back deep. This guy has exploded. O.J. Anderson onto the NFL scene. Here's Wade Manning. Manning may go.
Look out.
Ken Green is over there, and he knocks him out of bounds. And another rookie has put on quite a show as he's all the way to the 47-yard line of St. Louis.
And here's the young Ohio State baseball player. Nobody seemed to want him in baseball, so he thought he'd give a shot to the Cowboys because they give any athlete that wants one a walk-on or anything a chance. Incredible run back.
48-yard return is all. And now this crowd chanting defense. And, Tom, we played a whole season here today. We've seen it all.
I'm going to have to get a better tape job before the next one.
From the 47, first down for Dallas, down by 2 points. 3:33 left in the game. Staubach on first down. Got time. Throws. Complete. The catch made by Tony Hill. No, Springs. Correction. Ron Springs making that grab. That will be to the 41-yard line. And Seattle now falls in the rears 10-3. 2 very fine offenses. And Kansas City's leading Baltimore 7-0.
And we've got to keep in mind that Septian only last week got into this same situation and kicked it as time ran out. So you're not doing something for the first time.
Exactly right. He kicked 147 yards against Pittsburgh. Second down. 3 yards to go. Robert Newhouse trying to go wide. He's got the first down. He's almost to the 30-yard line. Make it the 32.
How did it get out of there? I think Springs must have gotten a good block for him. And it looked to me like Eric Williams thought he has him. Watch the left part and see what we can pick up here. There's Newhouse. Doesn't look too fancy, but I'll tell you, he's hiding behind Springs, who does seal off a couple of people.
You know, for a guy that's only 5'10", he gets those legs pumping, doesn't he?
Well, I'll tell you, he first guy to practice, the last guy to leave.
And look at that. He's over 100 yards today. Kind of did it quietly, didn't he? First down now at the 32. Dallas is coming right back. And this is the typical Dallas team you see. What poise they have. Roger Staubach gives the Newhouse again, and he's tripped up where he might have gone quite a ways as Tim Carney got him. And it looks like Newhouse is hurt. Boy, that's tough.
Boy, hit him right on the kneecap. Obviously, Carney was just trying to throw himself in front of the ball carrier and dead.
Robert Newhouse, who last year suffered that broken bone in his right leg and now sustaining an injury.
This is the action. The proper medical people are on the field to see. There's the rolling linebacker who gets anything he can. That's Kearney. Boy, he's hurt right away. He holds the ball to make sure that there's no fumble.
Scott Laidlaw. And in overtime, the first of 79, and wouldn't you guess it, Atlanta, New Orleans. Last year, Atlanta, on last-second Big Ben plays, pulled them out. And now Chicago has won it over Green Bay, 6-3 in Soldiers Field.
Wouldn't it be something if Erxleben settled that New Orleans game with about a 55-yarder indoors?
Boy, what action we've had in the NFC. Second down 5 now. Staubach is 19 of 33, 262 yards in this game. 2 minutes, 26 seconds remaining. The Cowboys trail by 2, 21-19. Doug Cosby has come in at tight end. That's him in motion. Here's Staubach. Pass complete to Tony Hill. One-on-one. Harry Smith trips him up, but he just couldn't get him to go down. He goes to the 20, and that'll be a first down.
I've never seen such pursuit by the Cardinals in my life. That time they rally around. It looks like they're going to hold Tony to absolutely nothing. Here's the fake. They're all over Roger, too. Watch this bunch start racing toward number 80. If he knew what was going on behind him, maybe he wouldn't even run, but he stays on his feet and doesn't even go down.
Boy, we've had a lot of one-on-one isolations out there, haven't we, where the backs had to make those stops or at least slow them up. First down at the 20-yard line. A field goal would give the Cowboys the lead, but they're going for 6 now. We're approaching the 2-minute warning. Here's a give to Scott Laidlaw. He goes nowhere. Laidlaw with his first carry, and you can see that defense is tough. Charlie Davis led the charge from the nose tackle spot, and now the 2-minute warning is here. 2 minutes. The fortunes of this game may rest on number 1's toe before this is all over.
You know, if you're a kicker, you got to hope that your team scores so you don't have to go out there under all these pressurized conditions. You can't like having to stroke that thing and win it all the time, but this young man's good at it.
There's Bud Wilkinson. This team lost last year in overtime to the Cowboys right here in Busch Stadium.
That was Rudy Feldman next to him as assistant.
Second and 10 from the 20. The Cowboys haven't given up thoughts for a touchdown, however. 2 minutes left in this game. Here's Staubach throwing caution to the wind, spreading out. He's going to run it, and he is going to be knocked out of bounds at the 12-yard line by Steve Niels. He's only about 2 yards short of that first down.
He's something. A 10th-round draft choice, a future taken by Dallas. Went to the Navy. Never shirked anything. Look at this. He's had over 2,000 yards rushing, so you know he's a good runner. He's also had separated shoulders and the normal injuries from it. But a big game situation. Number 12 gives you just darn near everything he's got.
We understand that Newhouse suffered a sprained or twisted ankle. He will not return to the action. So they're down to one fullback with 1:54 left.
It's a lot of time.
There you see what they have facing them. And now Staubach calls timeout.
Down, you got to be in a position to use the 4th down to kick from there. That's probably what the Dallas thought was. Now, let's don't be too silly, just get an easy first down. We got to make sure we get the first down.
What a football game this has been, and immediately following the U.S. Open, we'll be switching there for live coverage. 3rd down, a yard to go. Here's Saldi. Staubach to Laidlaw, and Laidlaw diving for it. I don't know. Very hard to tell from here.
Laidlaw and Springs were moving around. It looked like some kind of an adagio dance. Neither one knew exactly where to line up on the shift, and it was sort of a strange-looking shift. They did get down and hold, so they didn't get penalized. Is that Calvin Hill's old number, that 35?
That's right.
Calvin used to go up and over a lot.
Now they've got a 4th down, Tom, and here comes Septien. They're not going to take any chances, I should say, or are they? Up here comes Toronto in. 4th down. They didn't get it. And pressure on number 1, Septien.
And remember, last week, Worley blocked a kick, and I believe that Allen blocked one earlier in preseason, so St. Louis has a defensive chance to stop it.
28-yard attempt by Septien. Toronto to hold. He mishandled a point after. The snap, the kick is on the way by Septien. It's good. Rifkin has hit it from 28 yards, and I think it hit the upright.
It hit the upright on the inside left and bounced to the right, but it did go through. That was a billiard shot. Remember, he did it last week to Pittsburgh. Here's the high snap. Toronto gets it down. It's got to be a good hole. Now watch this and see if it hits the bar on the left.
It did.
And then through the boomerang. Oh, hello there.
You saw Perry Smith just flailing at the ground after he saw it go through. Well, they all count, don't they?
That's like putting your deed on the hard 8 line in Las Vegas and rolling it and hitting it.
So the field goal of 28 yards, the second of the day.
Hart and Mel Gray.
And a guy by the name of Anderson. What a start to this 1979 season. Septien hits it very well again. He has really kicked off well. Harrell will bring it out. Harrell out to the 20, out to the 25-yard line. And that's where the Cardinals will set up shop with 1:12 left. A last-ditch effort in a game that just emotionally, I think, is draining everyone.
What are Jim Hart's statistics right now? Do you know?
We'll catch him here in a minute. At the 25-yard line, that's where he'll set it up. Our director, Sandy Grossman, our producer, Bob Stinner, an excellent job, men. Thank you. On a game that, boy, it has really had a lot to cover.
This one isn't over yet.
That's right. Hart in this game, Tom, 10 of 24.
91 yards. Boy, that's good pass defense. You hold him to 91 yards.
2 interceptions, 2 touchdowns, and now the pressure on him, stepping up, and he's hit. The ball will be incomplete. That was Larry Cole, 63, who reached in and just kind of plucked that ball out of his grasp.
Was it, or was it Harvey Martin coming around the bend?
Let's see on the replay.
It's Larry Cole. He always saves the big plays, doesn't he, till the last.
2nd and 10, a minute 7 still left in the game. The Cardinals have tried to somehow pull this upset. They came in here about 5-point underdogs and now down by 1. 2nd down, 10 from the 25. Hart with Randy White giving chase. Here's Wayne Morris. Morris is to the 30, 33, 34-yard line. That's a couple of yards short of the first down, and St. Louis asks for a timeout. They have 2 remaining. Larry, we have 58 seconds left in this game. A 3rd and 2 for the Cardinals from their own 33-yard line. They've used the first of 3 timeouts. They trail by 1, 22-21. Tilley and Gray, the wide receivers. Morris, Anderson, the running backs behind Jim Hart. Hart gives off to Anderson, and Anderson falls forward for the first down. And are they going to use another timeout? They are. They used their 2nd timeout, and that took only 4 seconds left.
And only 1 timeout. Obviously, Dallas will keep everybody in bounds if they can. But that doesn't mean you can't complete a ball and get the guy out of bounds. And I would expect Mel Gray to get a call here and maybe look for a deep interference call even.
They bring in another defensive back. Aaron Mitchell came in. Larry Bethea checked out from the 37-yard line of first down. Hart back to throw. Protection is very good. Throwing up the middle, and Theodis Brown, or O.J. Anderson, correction, had a crack at that pass, as did Al Chandler. Right over the middle. Getting up kind of slowly back there is Thomas Henderson.
Good protection. Randy White went by like a train in the night. They just did block him and take him beyond the pattern so that Hart had time. Again, here's the field goal kicker, but again, I think a good play in this situation, and this is just personal opinion, would be throw the ball on a long shake and go pattern to Mel Gray and look for interference down at the end. They have to stop the clock, and I'll tell you, in order to cover him, you've got to almost interfere with him.
Gray is split to the top of the screen, Tilley to the bottom. 2nd down, 10. Hart 11 of 27 now for 99 yards. Been a long time he has not been in triple figures in passing. Flag on the play. Hart throwing far side. There's Gray. Can't get to it. Randy Hughes over there along with Aaron Mitchell. But what's the flag all about?
5-yard offside Dallas.
Looks like Keith Wortman's having trouble with the helmet. He's taking his off. He's running to the near side asking for another one.
Harvey Martin's been beaten on that one. That one may be destroyed.
He didn't like that one either. George Collins threw one to him. Tom Banks is offering his to him. With a 5-yard penalty, moves it across the 40 to the 42-yard line. Let's listen.
Number 63, defense, offside.
That's Larry Cole. Now with 43 seconds. Getting a little closer down the
same call. You got to play.
2nd and 5.
Go down the sidelines and hit 85 as deep as you can.
Wayne Morris in motion. Anderson. Oh, boy, they were ready for him that time. Randy White made sure of that. That may have been the play they broke earlier. Taking the lead in this game with 1:16 left on a 28-yard field goal.
Pretty close, huh?
Can't get much closer than that.
Not a very good call, the last running play. That's, you really are praying for a rookie to carry the whole team on one blast to get, the guys that tackled him were the most valuable players, Harvey Martin and Randy White. You don't block them all day and run over the top of it.
Los Angeles, well, that lead of 14-0 now has been whittled down to 14.